is God from whom all blessings flow. Welcome to your favorite program, The Moment of Truth, brought to you by the Citadel Global Community Church. Our God is a God of salvation, far above all principality and power and might and dominion, that regardless of what happens in this season, you will escape. Say to your neighbor, there is no peace for the wicked. The special anti-robbery squad, you are now killing innocent citizens instead of dealing with robbers. Your axe will catch up with you. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Moment of Truth with Pastor Tunde Bakare, Sundays, 7 p.m. on Plus TV Africa.
For upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Booking November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Thanks for joining us on Plus News Brief. I am Osaogie Ogbonwa. The Nigerian Army says its troops of Operation Tura Takaimbango have eliminated more Boko Haram terrorists at their meeting point in Bayo Mari town in Yobe. The Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Mohammed Yerima, said the troops operating in Operation Lafia Dole had continued to degrade the terrorists in the northeast. Yerima said the troops of 159 and 233 battalions, in conjunction with Civilian Joint Task Force, had on Tuesday engaged the terrorists following credible information on the movement of the terrorists to Bayo Mari. He said that the troops engaged the terrorists with a fierce volume of fire and neutralized 2 of them in the process, while some escaped with gunshot wounds. And the Niger State Governor, Sani Bello, has ordered the immediate closure of all boarding schools in 4 local council areas in the state after students and teachers were kidnapped from Government Science College in Kagara. Bello said boarding schools in Rafi, Munya, Shiroro, and Mariga local government areas will be closed indefinitely because of heightened insecurity. Gunmen dressed in military uniforms stormed the Government Science College before hauling students into a nearby forest. Also, the federal government says that it will deploy all resources available to it to ensure the safe release of the abducted students of Government Science College, Kagara, in Niger State. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, gave the quickly declare a state of emergency on insecurity in the country, saying the incidence of kidnapping of students is gradually becoming rampant, especially in the northern part of the country.
An abduction of school children at Government Science School, Kagara, Niger State, is coming on the heels of yet to be resolved Ankara abduction of 300 students which took place at Government Science School, Ankara, Katsina State, Chibok girls in 2014, and abduction of about 100 schoolgirls at Government Girls Science and Technical School, Dapchi, Yobe State in 2018. And concerned that, like the other incidents of school children abduction that took place in Chibok and Dapchi several years back, if no immediate action is taken to rescue Kagara school students, their fate may be sealed in the hands of terrorists.
Can we rightly say that this government, I am sorry to say, that this government is incompetent in handling the security challenges in this country? Because this issue had been discussed here over and over, and there is no improvement. It is even getting worse. Are we supposed to amend the laws in this country to give every citizen freedom to carry arms? What else are we going to do? Are we going to amend the Nigerian Constitution to give more powers to the governors, who are the chief security officers of their various states? Because our government at the center is showing incompetence in handling security challenges. Let each one of us here imagine that it is his son or his daughter that has been kidnapped.
Niger State is next to the FCT. If we believe we are comfortable in the FCT, we should begin to understand if they are in Niger State, they are as well in the FCT. And the forest, which these people use as their hideout, is like a kind of stretch of areas. There is a continuum of forest from the FCT into Niger State, through Shiroro local government, into Rafi local government, and into Mariga local government to Zamfara. These things are known, and I think it is time for our security agents to double their efforts so that our citizens can at least have some peace.
I believe that there is need for something new, a different initiative, on especially how to protect our schools. And let me be a little bit clear about the incidents of abducting students from schools. Almost all the incidents of abducting students from schools happen in northern Nigeria. And we all know how much effort our leaders of yesterday, probably right from independence, have worked so hard to ensure that children go to school in northern part of Nigeria. And with incidents like this, we will be reversing all the gains that were made in convincing parents and wards to take their children to school. So there is need for our security agencies and government to ensure that we come up with a strategy of ensuring security in schools.
And still in the news, President Muhammadu Buhari has received Zamfara State Governor Mohammed Matawale at the State House in Abuja. The president later held a closed-door meeting with the governor. The governor, after the meeting, told journalists at the presidential villa that he was summoned by the president to brief him on the security situation in his state. He said 358 special police forces have been deployed by the federal government to the state to tackle banditry. He also asked governors from northern states to embrace Ruga as a strategic means of ending the farmer headers crisis. Still in the news, the House of Representatives has warned public officials and state governors to desist from making divisive statements that will cause strife among different ethnic groups. While reacting to a motion on urgent national importance raised on the floor of the House, Dan Chong Bagus from Plateau State says statements like the one attributed to the governor of Bauchi State justifying the illegal bearing of firearms by headsmen are inflammatory and uncalled for. Bagus says it is capable of passing the wrong message to the public and victims of attacks by headsmen.
Concerned that the inflammatory and divisive statement will lead to enormous belief that the government supports the crimes of carrying prohibited firearms. Concerned also that this situation can easily lead to armed conflict as other groups, such as farmers and defenseless citizens, will consider it as a threat to their safety and to arm themselves with AK-47. Concerned further that if all public officials regardless their positions or status, are not cautioned against inciting or provoking. Concerned further that if all public officials, regardless of their positions or status, are not cautioned against inciting or provoking the general.
While reacting to the recent violence in Oyo State, the Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, tasked the Nigerian police force to live up to their responsibilities, conduct a thorough investigation, arrest those responsible for the destruction of lives and property, and prosecute them accordingly. Gbajabiamila also set up a committee to be headed by the Chief Whip of the House, Mohammed Munguno, urging them to communicate the House's position to the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu.
Today, we serve that duty by calling on the Nigerian police force to conduct a speedy and thorough investigation into the recent violence in Oyo State, to allow for prosecution and punishment of those who instigated and participated in the killings and destruction of the property. The committees on police affairs and justice are mandated to communicate the House's position to the Inspector General of Police.
You're still watching News Brief here on Plus TV Africa. The acting Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Hilary Kelechi Madu, has called on members of the Corps' strategic management team to redouble efforts towards finding a lasting solution to the nation's security challenges. The NSCDC boss made the call during an inaugural meeting with the Corps' zonal commanders and state commandants on the state of security in the nation. He reminded the senior officers that the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps was one of the organizations tasked by the president to find a lasting solution to banditry, insurgency, and other crimes plaguing the country.
The government is looking up to us to deliver on both our core and expanded mandates. The insecurity in the country has been heightened with persistent farmers-herders clashes, kidnapping, insurgency, and banditry. It is therefore our responsibility to rejig our operational capacity and capability to drive this policy's thrust of government. I call on you to do away with corruption and ineptitude and embrace dedication to duties for us to bring back the lost glory of the Corps.
And the Edo State Police Command has decorated newly promoted officers, tasking them to promote the image of the police through good, professional, and orderly conduct. The Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of Zone 5, Benin City, who was represented by the head of Finance and Administration, Emmanuel Effiong, urged the newly promoted personnel to add the quota to the war against criminality in the state.
What outputs you are expected to evidence is also different from what you are used to in your former bank. These are the indices that will show us that you are ready, well prepared, sufficiently prepared, and equipped for the new role that we take and meet. So we expect much more from you in terms of punctuality to work, diligence at work, and overall professional efficiency from you.
I'm very happy I'm decorated today to the rank of superintendent. I thank my IG and also the AIG and all the senior officers, the management team in Zone 5. I'm so happy today. Today is my happiest day.
God has elevated me to the rank of Assistant Superintendent of Police. I give grace, I give glory to Almighty Father. The best I will deliver to the public. This is the best time in my life. It's a unique day. And I want to give the best to the society while dealing with them in my course of my duty.
And a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party at the Atona Odua of Yoruba, I beg your pardon, Bode George, has condemned the growing spate of insecurity in Nigeria and the recent inhuman treatment meted out to peaceful protesters at the Occupy Lekki toll gate recently. Bode George said this while briefing newsmen in Lagos on Wednesday. Destiny Momo tells us more.
While reflecting on the importance of Ash Wednesday, the PDP chieftain emphatically believes Nigeria must withdraw from the brink. He says he has observed the state of the nation over the last 3 months with despair and disbelief. On the panel constituted by the Lagos state government to look into the NSAS tragedy, he says it has demonstrated an unconscionable totality in the hurried reopening of the Lekki toll gates.
In the inexplicable, hurried, greedy, selfish, inhumane, outrageous, and immoral decision to reopen the Lekki toll gates while the blood of the Lekki matters are still crying out for justice.
Bode George also condemned the inhumane treatment of peaceful protesters, describing it as disturbing.
The treatment of peaceful protesters who were humiliated, bundled into the hot oven of the Black Maria amid the searing heat last Saturday at Lekki toll gate does not enhance the critical ingredients of democracy, wherein citizens are guaranteed the right to protest peacefully against the obvious wrongs of power. A more enlightened government should dismantle the 2 parallel intrastate toll gates and erect a permanent monument to honor those who lost their lives at that NSAS rally.
On the spate of Headers Farmers crisis, banditry, and wanton killings of innocent Nigerians, the elder statesman says it translates to governance fast losing its grip on the first principles of protecting lives and properties.
Widening spread of banditry, reckless shedding of innocent blood, the bitter, murderous clashes between farmers and herdsmen, loose brigandage, virtually made all corners of our society insecure, vulnerable to the rule, cordial and magic. Governance everywhere is fast losing its grip on the first principles of protecting lives and property.
The PDP chieftain says Nigeria must be restructured to ensure its survival as a nation. Destiny Momo for Plus TV Africa.
Thanks to Destiny Momo for that report. At least 3 persons lost their lives and 3,600 others displaced in a fire incident in an internally displaced persons camp in customs area of Maiduguri. The Director General of the State Emergency Management Agency, Yabawa Kulu, said that the incident, which occurred on Tuesday, also affected food items. She explained that the first incident occurred very early in the morning, while the second incident occurred in the afternoon at about 2 p.m., raising down about 600 shelters. She said that this might have stemmed from a cooking fire that grew out of control in one of the tents. She expressed concern about what she described as reoccurring fire incidents in camps, which had affected many families. And the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, says it has uncovered over 140 billion naira from budget manipulations by ministries, departments and agencies between 2017 to 2020. ICPC Chairman Bolaji Owasanoye, at a one-day meeting on transparency and fiscal discipline in the implementation of government budgets, lamented the lack of accountability by public office holders in the implementation of budget. It says the system study carried out by agencies or by the agencies, which mainly focused on the health and educational institutions, explains the major cause of Nigeria's underdevelopment and lack of fiscal infrastructures.
And we came up with results which included the discovery of 31.8 billion personnel cost surpluses for 2017 and 2018, and misapplication of 19.8 billion and 9.2 billion from personnel cost and capital fund respectively. Consequent of these findings, 42 billion unspent surplus allocation for personnel costs for the year was blocked from possible abuse and pilferage, mostly from health and educational institutions because we focused on them.
No one agency can have an adequate budget. And so the challenge is in twofold. One, to optimize the use of what we currently consider inadequate, but also to then grow the pie by focusing on the revenue side. That's the only way that we can increase this budget size.
The economy suffered a setback in 2020 due to COVID-19 disruptions and slipped into a recession at the end of the third quarter of the year. However, measures have been put in place to ensure that we exit this recession as soon as possible.
And now in other parts of Africa, Zanzibar's first vice president, Saif Sharif Ahmad, who had been undergoing treatment for COVID-19 in hospital, has died. The president of the semi-autonomous island region of Tanzania, Hussein Mwinyi, announced 7 days of mourning with the flag flown at half-staff. The cause of death has not been made public, but on January 31st, Ahmad was hospitalized in the archipelago after testing positive for coronavirus. Now, outside Africa, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says it has struck a deal for an extra 150 million doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine this year, nearly doubling the number of shots secured from the U.S. biotech firm for 2021. Under the deal, the European Union also has the option to buy another 150 million doses next year. The EU has already booked 60 million doses of the Moderna shot for this year, and deliveries began in January with a target to supply 10 million doses by the end of March, although there have been some delays. The Commission said with the new agreement, the EU has secured up to 2.6 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines from 6 vaccine makers. That compares with an EU population around 450 million. Although not all vaccines may pass clinical tests.
The Commission has approved a second contract with Moderna to purchase 300 million additional doses of their vaccine against COVID-19. This is good news, and we see a growing number of fraud attempt related to the vaccines. We are fighting this trend. Olaf is investigating and giving member states advice how to identify this fraud. Our goal is to bring them to justice and to really go in depth in these matters.
The capacity to produce the right number of doses is drastically increasing, and for what it was before I came, and now for the new batches, it's an improvement of roughly 50%. So that's why we are more secure on the fact that AstraZeneca is catching up.
Now in sports, Porto scored in the first minute of each half to edge ahead in the Champions League tie against Juventus. Mehdi Taremi pounced on Rodrigo Bentancur's poor back pass to slide in and convert only after 63 seconds. Juventus were being outplayed, but Adrien Rabiot saw an acrobatic effort pushed away, and Moussa Marega stroked home 19 seconds into the second half. But Federico Chiesa pulled a goal back in 82 minutes, heading into the return leg of the last 16 tie on the 9th of March. Also in sports, Naomi Osaka has ended Serena Williams' bid for a record-equaling 24th Grand Slam title in a storm of power hitting on Thursday, humbling the American great 6-3, 6-4 to reach her second Australian Open finals. In a rematch of their, of course, a very big 2018 US Open decider, Osaka underlined her status as the new queen of women's tennis and soaked up all the cheers from the Rod Laver Arena crowd as fans returned to the Grand Slam after a 5-day lockdown.
I don't know if there's any little kids out here today, but I was a little kid watching her play, and just to be on the court against her for me is a dream. And I think the biggest thing that I've learned over the years is just like, you know, you're a competitor, you're playing against another competitor, and that itself is the funnest part because tennis is a game.
And that's the news at this hour. For more news updates, please follow us at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa. We'll be back later with more stories. I am Osaogie Ogbonwa. Thank you for watching.
This is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Bukky November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's Tea Time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
He suffered equally compared.
A 500 naira they collect am. If you no talk, dem go beat you. Na 2,500 they pay.
We can't talk about education reform if we don't decolonize our education system.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize. Because it's just cultural. And I think it's just human nature.
They stop paying us salary. I don't like remembering it.
I am angry at Nigeria. I'm angry at this government which seems to be letting us down. I am angry at us as a people.
In the process of struggling to free myself from his hand, he tore my pants and he raped me.
Yes, I commit the offense truly.
Young girl, do you know where you are going? I say, I'm going to America. I say, now so that they talk, you are going to Libya, which America?
As it then do mark our place, some people they die now.
This is Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
Even if INEC opens their portal today for continuous registration, we'll rather complain than go to register.
If we go and know, are we going to change Africa? Because what did they do to make our lives better since then?
Stories will inspire you.
Inspire us to be like who? Like our Lord.
Inspire you to know that once upon a time, some people also struggled.
They don't even consider it that it's important
for you
to make the place conducive for people living with disabilities.
More accessible.
Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa, welcome on the show. My name is Wally Scott. I've got too many drama on the show today. Let me just call it drama. because really it is drama. Now, let's start with this. The chairperson of the Nigeria Women's Football League, Aisha Falode, has called for patience from players owed salaries by clubs and says an agreement has been reached on how to clear the outstanding salaries. Pelican Stars and Delta Queens players had on several occasions cried out over months of unpaid salaries, with players of Pelicans presently owed 6 months' salary. Falode pleaded with the players to please remain calm. I've got a guest on the show today, Brownson Wana. Brownson, good morning. Okay, Brownson will join us later. We'll talk about this extensively. And don't forget that we have owing people salary in Nigeria is a norm. It's a normal thing. We like to owe people salary. And now Pelican, Queen Stars, and the rest of them are actually, and Aisha Falode is begging them to please cool down. Now, Super Eagles head coach Gernot Rohr remains tight-lipped over calling up Ahmed Musa for the side's 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifying doubleheader against Benin Republic and Lesotho. Now, Musa is looking for a new club after severing his ties with Saudi outfit Al Nassr last October. Now, let me discuss this. Let me discuss this extensively. I want to officially say that Gernot Rohr seems to me like a hypocrite. No insult intended, though. He just seems to me like a hypocrite. Because the truth be said, Gernot Rohr said, I am only going to call players who play regularly. I'm only going to call players who are doing well with their clubs. And then he calls Ahmed Musa in the last match that we had. Ahmed Musa was clubless. Now, Ahmed Musa is clubless again. He's now telling the world and saying, okay, I might call him, but he's not, he doesn't have a club right now. Should I call him? Should he be discussing that with us? You are a man who told us initially, listen, I will not bring in a player who doesn't have a club, who is not playing week in, week out for a club. This is funny. Brownson, welcome on the show. Good morning, Brownson.
Yeah, good morning, Wale. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm very well.
I've got Brownson Wana on the show this morning. Now, Brownson, Gernot Rohr says he's coy. He's thinking about calling Ahmed Musa. This is a man who told the world initially that, listen, I will not call players who are not playing week in, week out, who are not playing regular football. Why is he coy about Ahmed Musa at all? Why is he even calling him, thinking about him in the first place?
I understand that issues like this are going to cause controversy, looking at the fact that Musa is called clubless. But for today, I'll tend to tilt to Gernot Rohr's side on this one. Musa has served this country so much. At this point, the country Musa has always been there for the country. But right now, Ahmed Musa needs the country to get a club. Because if he doesn't get to play for the national team, I don't think clubs want to see what he still has to offer. So Gernot Rohr is looking at the fact that this guy is the captain of the squad. And of course, Musa has gone to 2 World Cups. He's the highest goal scorer in our World Cup history. And his record goes on and on. So sometimes I think there should be some exception to some certain players whom I think deserves it. For instance, if Mikel Obiok then was in this kind of situation, maybe I would have also said, yes, let's give him a pass because of his commitment to the national team. So, Wale, I understand most journalists are talking about it and it's really controversial, but I think I want to stand with Gernot Rohr. I think Musa should be given maybe from now till the summer, which is July, to represent the Nigerian national team and see if he gets something this summer. But if nothing happens from now till July, and then he's still being called up, then we'll have issue with that. That's my take.
Now, Brown, pardon my sarcasm right now. I'm just being sarcastic right now. A child is dull, but the child has a good handwriting. Ahmed Musa has served us, he's played so well for us, but he doesn't have a club. So how do you manage that, really? He doesn't have a club. Yes, he has a good handwriting, he has done well for us, but he's a tall child, really.
Yes, I mean, it's a very good scenario you painted there. But when a child, probably is very brilliant in school but doesn't have a good handwriting, it takes patience from the parents to always want to put him through, and all of that. So maybe a little patience with Musa. I'm sure this patience would pay off someday. It's not normal. It's not supposed to be the normal or right thing to do at this point. But I'm just saying, let's be patriotic with him. Let's show him some support. Musa needs Super Eagles right now. I'm sure he has represented Nigeria when things were very tough for him. But I can only speak for Ahmed Musa in this case because of what he has done. I'm looking at his, the dues he has paid for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So we could just pedal a little.
Brownson, you're obviously a Ahmed Musa fan, so I won't go there again. Let's just talk about him. Aishat Falodi has come out today to say, listen, let us try and pay our players whenever they work for us, let's learn to pay them. She's now saying people should cool down. Pelicans Queens are actually protesting right now. I've said they won't play their next matches. They don't play their wages. And it's a norm in Nigeria not to pay wages. It's not right.
It's really not right. And unfortunately, we mostly talk about this in African leagues, especially Nigeria. But Wale, what can we do? Our league is being run by the government, and the government sometimes will come and tell you that they are broke, no money to meet up some basic infrastructure in the states. We've not packaged our league enough to be very attractive to the private sector. And by the time even the MPFL, where two giants of telecoms were fighting each other for the signature. At the end of the day, one of them got it, yet clubs were still complaining. And when you talk of shirt deal, how many clubs have sponsorship deal for their shirts? How many of these players they don't have endorsement from the corporate sector? So it's a very big problem that I don't see it ending next year. I don't see it ending in 2 years. A lot of things has to be done for this to change. And it's so sad that Aisha she can do what she can. But it's a lot. But I really don't see this changing until we repackage our league, make it very attractive. Let's have this private sector. That's where the money is, not the government. The government can only do the little they can. The private sector runs league in everywhere in Europe.
Brownson,
look at Egypt, for instance.
Tunisia. Brownson, let me put you on the burner right now, on the hot seat right now. Most times, the government only does things for sports, knowing that sports is the high that we get, the opium that we get. And they only use sports when it's the campaign period. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I just think it's not right. They should do what is right, not when they only want our votes and campaign.
Well, you are perfectly spot on there. We understand how things are. It cuts across. For instance, there are some roads in my area where they use it every year. They've used it since 2011 to campaign. Until now, those roads are like that. Same thing with sports. These guys come on, they tell you that this will happen, that will happen. You see that from December 2022, players will not be owed salary again. And after May 2023 to July, down till God knows when, these players will get owed. That's because they've seen that what is the connecting factor between the youth and the government is sports. And this politician lashing on it and use it to get the vote. And when they get there, it's a very different, different kettle of fish when they get there. So it's really sad. That's why I'm really calling on the private sector to take over sports in Nigeria. They should come in, and I think it's also bored up the LMC, League Management Company, and the guys in charge of Women League and the Male League to package the league. When the private sector comes in, we won't be talking about salaries, because deals will be coming on even for individuals. What stops one of these players from getting endorsement? Instead, they use some reality shows that we don't even know what those people do. They stay in one house for 2 months. You come back and you give them deals. These ladies that are supposed to be the star, they are hungry. So in Nigeria, they'll say life no balance, but it's unfortunate.
Stay with us, Brownson. Something really upsets me this morning. I woke up to see this and I was really upset. Serena Williams actually walked out on a press conference. Stay with us. She broke down in tears and cut short a post-match news conference after a 6-3, 6-4 defeat to Naomi Osaka. She actually walked out on the press conference. Serena Williams here. Stay with us.
I hit a lot on forced errors in the first few games, and I was just really nervous and scared, I think, in the beginning. And then I sort of eased my way into it. And for me, I think the biggest thing is just having fun. And it's the first day having a crowd in a while. Yeah. And I think, honestly, for me, I don't know, it's just always an honor to play her. And I just didn't want to go out really bad. So I just wanted to try my best.
The difference today was errors. I made so many errors today, so it was opportunities where I could have won. I could have been up 5-love, and I just made so many errors. So I think going through last year with the pandemic was definitely interesting, and so I have a little experience under my belt with that, I guess. But yeah, those are things that I haven't really thought about. I don't know, if I ever say farewell, I wouldn't tell anyone. So I don't know. I'm done.
She actually walked off. She actually walked away. She wanted to cry, and she actually walked off. Brownson, is this the end of Serena Williams? Is she going to say goodbye to tennis? With what you just saw now. She actually walked away.
Yes.
She sighed and walked away.
It's very emotional for me. I've always loved Serena Williams, and I wouldn't want her to say bye to the sport at this time. I still think somewhere, somehow, Serena Williams can win maybe 1 or 2 more Grand Slam. When I saw the pairing against Naomi Osaka, I felt sad for her. Maybe if it was final, it would have been different. She did all she could. She lost the 2 straight sets, so it means it wasn't a fluke. It was a whitewash, for me. Serena Williams has pushed herself so hard to see if she can get just 1 more or 2 more Grand Slams.
And break a record.
In the past 2 years, she has played in 4 finals, Wale, and she has lost the 4 finals. So it has to be a mental block somewhere. I think at this point, she needs a psychologist to really boost her. Otherwise, I think it would be very difficult for her to get hold of the Grand Slam. But I don't think she will quit the sport. Maybe not now.
Brownson, do you play table tennis?
I do.
There's something they call Winshi. Maybe Naomi Osaka is just Serena's Winshi. Maybe. Just maybe. But she always beats her. I don't know.
I mean, it's so easy. In 2018, it was a swift run.
2 straight sets.
2 straight sets. And this year again, 2 straight sets. It tells you something. I think she understands, she has studied Serena Williams a lot. She has watched lots of her clips. Serena Williams is very strong with her serves. And Serena Williams has a very good counter for it. So she's a coach that can, teach her, especially playing at this level, another way of playing. But I still think Serena Williams is got something to offer. And it's very sad for me if she leaves at this point.
Okay, now, Rafael Nadal's bid for a record 21st Grand Slam title came crashing to a halt at the Australian Open on Wednesday as Stefanos Tsitsipas rose up to topple the Spaniard 3-6, 2-6, 7-6, 6-4, 7-5, and reached the semi-finals. Now, world number 2 Nadal had not lost a set coming into the evening clash at Rod Laver Arena and was locked on target for the last 4 at Melbourne Park after roaring to a 2-set lead over the listless Greek. He's actually listless. The match turned on its head when Nadal recovered in a messy 3rd set. Let's watch a little bit of this and go back to Brownson. Stay with us.
I have no words to describe what just happened out on the court. My tennis speaks out for itself. It's an unbelievable feeling to be able to fight at such a level and just be able to leave it my all out in the court. Today's performance was. I started very nervous, I won't lie, but I don't know what happened after the third set. I flied like a little bird. Everything was working for me, and I think the emotions at the very end are undescribable. They're just.
I lost a match in quarterfinals of an event that meant a lot to me. Australian Open is one of my favorite events, without a doubt. So I missed an opportunity to be in that semi-finals again. And that's it. Well done for him. He played better than me probably in the important moments. It was an equal match. I tried my best in every single moment, probably with the right attitude, no complaining at all in no one moment, even in the toughest moments, and just trying to, I think I stayed positive all the time during the match, fighting, and was not enough. Sometimes it's enough, today was not enough.
I think Tsitsipas had everything going for him, except for one thing, just the English language, the sentence. He said, I flied like a little bird. I think the word should have been, I flew like a little bird. But he didn't believe what happened to him. Brownson, Tsitsipas is stunned that he beat Nadal. He didn't believe it on the court. He said, I didn't believe what happened on the court today.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing Nadal, Nadal has a very strong serve. So one of the tactics that every coach wants to tell his player is to break those serves. If you break those serves, Nadal finds it very difficult and he feels very frustrated. And Tsitsipas did that very well. That tactic was well executed. For me, I think that was where the game was won and lost. Won for Tsitsipas and lost for Nadal. And I mean, when you're playing someone that has 20 Grand Slam in his cabinet, you know what that means for you. And, it's like a legend. And Nadal needed this one to set new world record, the first player in Open era to win 21 Grand Slam ahead of Roger Federer. And he was really looking forward to this. Don't forget that Federer didn't make it to the tournament. And, it was a very good chance. But when you play a rising star, 50 Stefanos Tsitsipas, you're going to bring your A game to this one. The guy is young, he's got lots of energy, his reflex is very, perfect. But it was a big day for him, and I think he rose up to the occasion. Nadal will live to fight another day.
Brownson, I want to ask you a question. Every time Nadal has a problem, it's never his leg, it's never his stomach, it's always his right shoulder. And Stefanos always went for the right side of his arm, always trying to look for that shoulder to actually shift or something, as usual. And he actually made it happen for himself. He always went for that shoulder.
That's tactical brilliance, and you have to give it to the coaching crew. They studied Nadal, and they know that this guy's got injury. If you stretch him at that part of his arm, he will break down. That was exactly what, it was the tactics taken to perfection, and you must give kudos. Tsitsipas did well, but I think I want to give kudos to the coaching crew who spotted this out, and of course, executed by Tsitsipas. Unfortunately, Nadal lost, but Tsitsipas will have to look. I really hope that he gets to the final, because it looks for me like it's Djokovic's title to lose this year.
Okay, Brownson. Tennis fans were allowed back to the Australian Open tournament on Thursday after Victoria State lockdown was lifted. Victoria State Premier Dan Andrews announced the lifting of the lockdown and said the crowd allowed into Melbourne Park for the semi-finals and finals of the Grand Slam night be reduced from the originally agreed 25,000 a day tournament organizers. Let's still, they had agreed with the government to have 7,477 fans in each of Thursday's 2 sessions, and the same number from the singles final sessions on Saturday and Sunday evenings. Now, the number of spectators in mask night present a stark contrast in the first 5 days of the tournament, when there was a sometimes feral atmosphere, but lists for local hero Nico Kyrgios, second and third round matches on John Cain's Arena. Okay, we'll take a short break. We'll come back. Stay with us.
It's It's been really nice to be here, and I actually kind of like the lower crowds. It's kind of nice to just be able to walk around and go wherever you want.
Having a nice day like this and be able to come back to see the players, I think it's nice for us, it's nice for them as well. And you look, it's a beautiful day, it looks like everyone is happy to be here. So yeah, I think it's really great that we are able to come back.
Somebody said it was almost suicidal to have said the Australian Open should go on. Then later they said the crowd cannot be there, 25,000 people at a point. And then now everybody is gone. And then they've actually agreed to have them in the semi-finals and the finals number. Only 7,477 spectators. Even for me, that's a major, major amount of people. Brownson, what do you think? Over 7,000 people, Brownson. What do you think?
Vacation with your family, during this period. But so I think it's to relieve a lot of things. A lot of people are in depression and different things. Sports has a way of bringing them back, and it's a very good thing for the organizers to consider having fans back into the stadium. It will boost the players' morale. We hear those shouts and screams and all of that. So let's see how well that goes. I think it's a very, very good development. We hope to see that in football as well soon.
Well, I've always been a major player in saying that all sporting activities should just stop. For me, really, my opinion.
I think it's not necessary. What organizers have been able to do so far, let's look at the league games, for instance. I think when leagues stopped sometimes in July, I think was it August, thereabouts in 2020, it was a very difficult moment for sport fans around the world. People started getting back to life. Sports, you need to understand that sports is a way of life. I forget that we don't do it well in Africa or maybe Nigeria. Sport is a lifestyle for people. It's a way of life, it's a tradition. So, it's something that we really cannot do without. Wale, please don't suggest that again. Sports should go on. I think systematically, people should start getting to stadium gradually. Maybe a 10% to 20%, then to 50% thereabouts.
Thank you very much, Brownson. I agree with you. Right. Suffering many for Nigeria, so the only opium we have, the only high we get is sports in Nigeria. So I agree with you. Thank you very much for coming on the show, Brownson. And we hope to see you very, very soon. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye. Now, backed by 24 points from Donovan Mitchell, the Utah Jazz extended their winning NBA run to 9 games on Wednesday. Now, Rudy Gobert added 23 points and Jordan Clarkson had 18, as the Jazz beat the short-handed Los Angeles Clippers 114-96. The Clippers were missing injured duo Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and were unable to pick up the slack. Lon Williams getting a game-high 16 points in the defeat. The Jazz have now won 20 of their last 21 games and topped the Western Conference by 2 games. Let's watch the highlights of the game and we'll come back. Stay with us.
Lou Williams zigs and zags his way to his left. Jumper is true for Lou. He has 7. Rebound senior. Here come the Clippers. Man drives. Blocked from behind by Mitchell. What a play to end the half. Nevertheless, the Clippers hanging around. No Kawhi, no Paul George. They went to Division I as Mitchell goes down the lane and down that. Man, a step-away 3 with confidence. Gets his own rebound. A no-look in the corner for Coffey. Oh, the Brewmaster delivers again. And the Clippers close the lead down to 1. Continuing from effort to follow. Now another extended possession for Utah. They don't need any extra help, and Ingles makes it. Wow. 95-82.
Fantastic NBA action. That's all we can take on the show today. Thank you very much, Brownson Nwana, for being a guest on the show today. Thank you. Join us same time tomorrow for another edition of Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. My name is Wale Scott. And like I always advise you at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.
Many sports people are beginning to have a huge benefit. Let's check out them 7.
politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the results of tomorrow's election. You have it already, have you?
I am not hungry. If I need appointment, all I need to do is to start praising government.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let everybody come and say. The moment we stop having charlatans occupy political offices, we will curtail hate speech.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
Contrary to popular belief, Corona is not a hoax. The virus is real. Be responsible. Wear a mask. Wash your hands with soap and water and avoid crowded places. Maintain physical distancing. Be responsible. Together, we can overcome the pandemic.
Hello and welcome to Our Voices. Take a look at this. Art, dance, and sports. Three of my favorite things, and this trifecta has long created bridges helping us communicate when words fail us and keeping us entertained and happy during dark moments. And that remains true more now than ever before, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. In the next half hour, we'll hear from artists who are using their platform to spread inspiration through their work, and athletes who are breaking world records amid the pandemic. But we begin in Mogadishu. Somalia has opened what is being touted as the country's first independent modern arts institution. The Somali Arts Foundation says it's seeking to promote creative industries to flourish in the East African nation, while igniting critical debate on what it means to be Somali. Mohammed Sheikh Noor reports from Mogadishu.
25-year-old Ferdowsa Hussein is a rare female Somali photographer. As Hussein captures Mogadishu life through her lens, she also attracts curious onlookers.
When people see me carrying a camera, they say, "Shame on you. This is not the work of a Somali lady. You are tarnishing your reputation." But when I meet my female friends, they usually say, "Please go ahead. You are doing a great job," since they understand my focus is telling women-related stories.
Hussein and other artists got a boost in September with the opening of the Somali Artists Foundation. The country's first independent modern art institute plans to give artists like Hussein a much-needed space to show their works.
The launch of SAF, an exhibition of our photos, was an awesome experience, as it now provides us with an opportunity to display our work to a large audience. It also highlights female photographers who are doing amazing works of art.
Founder Sagal Ali says opening the Somali Artists Foundation was a lifelong dream come true.
We launched this institution to work with every Somali wherever they are, especially those within the country who have the talent. Those within the country do not have such opportunities. They do not have centers like this one to show their talents, like photography. This institution will provide spaces where they can upgrade their talents.
This kind of art can also have a positive influence by reflecting the truth of Somalia, says experts. Salman Mado is a lecturer on modern arts and photography at Somali National University.
If I talk about modern arts, photography and their storytelling impact, I have to talk about its significance in our country, which is today recovering from decades of conflict, destruction and civil strife. When you go back through this history, It is photography that exposed the harsh reality of what was happening.
As for Hussein, she wanted to continue to break new ground and inspire more Somali women to follow in her footsteps. Mohamed Shagnour for VOA News, Mogadishu.
And now to Mali, where the West African nation usually makes news over a growing Islamist insurgency and an August coup that are seen as threatening regional stability. But Mali is also known in the region for its music and cultural festivals. This year's annual Slam Poetry Festival has attracted artists from around West Africa. Reporter Annie Risenberg followed one young Malian poet who is bucking stereotypes in the conservative nation in this report from Bamako.
Aisha Diarra first learned of slam poetry when her high school held a competition. Now, she's been a slam poet since 2015 and takes part in Mali's annual Slam Poetry Festival. The poets, like Diarra, perform spoken word poetry in front of an audience and judges. She sees her art as a form of activism, meant to highlight the lives of Malian women and girls.
The subjects that I talk about, often people think that they're too bold. When I talk about circumcision of young girls, it's generally a taboo subject in Africa. They think it's too bold, but others congratulate me because there are many who do not dare to venture there.
Slam poetry is a relatively new music scene in Mali. A country with deep musical and oral traditions, Mali is regarded as a musical crossroads in Africa. Slam first appeared in Mali in 2006, years after it gained popularity in the United States.
The slam poets, for us, they are full-fledged musicians. We accept them as being musicians.
This year, the festival was held in November, months later than usual, due to the coronavirus and a curfew imposed after a coup d'etat in August. Diarra performed on stage for the first time in nearly a year.
I have joy in my heart. It's like a child who could walk, and suddenly he fell ill and couldn't walk. Later, the doctor tells him that he will walk again. You can imagine the joy. So I have this joy.
The annual festival is run by a Malian organization called Aggregatoire, founded by one of Mali's first slam poets, Aziz Kone.
As you know, everyone knows it. Since 2012, Mali has been weakened by a security crisis, by a social crisis. So we saw that it's important for us today to hold this festival in the name of peace and social cohesion.
This year saw Mali struggling with both regional instability and a worldwide pandemic, which left cultural activities in the normally lively music scene in shambles. But slam poetry continues to attract young Malians committed to a better future for their country. Annie Risenberg for VOA News, Bamako, Mali.
Thank you, Annie, for that fascinating report. Amid a pandemic and sporadic violence, a group of artists and dancers in Burkina Faso are taking to the stage to tell viewers to stand up. Olivia Chan with Reuters has more.
Art can be an escape from the realities of daily life, but at a festival in Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou, they're facing up to global crisis. The 11th edition of Les Recreateurs, an annual music and dance event, is being held against a backdrop of rising violence in the region and a world in lockdown. Serge M. Koulibaly choreographed one of the performances titled Wakat.
Wakat means the present time, and the present time is not fun at all. We are messed up. Like one of the actors says in the play, we are messed up and we are trying to find a different humanity through different energies that we forgot about.
The defiant theme for this year's event is Standing Up. Aguibo Bugobalisano is the stage director of Gumtiago, which means chameleon.
Today, the world has turned into a chameleon. Everything is changing. Everything is adapting. We are in a period of change. Should we languish because the world is not going well today? Or should we adapt and make the world a better place?
There were 3 different major performances a night for a week during Recreatral, which has become a major annual event in the West African arts calendar.
From Burkina Faso, we go to South Africa, where Reuters reports poet and artist Patika Ntuli's latest 45 bone sculptures exhibition is being honored for critically challenging human consciousness while emphasizing the power of healing during the coronavirus outbreak.
Patika Ntuli's Animal Bones exhibition, titled Azibuyele Emasisweni, which loosely translates to Return to the Source in the Zulu language, is a way for Ntuli to use African spirituality to connect with the origins of human life. The 78-year-old spent 3 years creating the sculptures long before the COVID-19 pandemic, yet for him they are an apt response or antidote to the current socio-political chaos around the world.
And COVID is helping us to sit down and to meditate about the state of the world, the state of who we are, as a people, who we are in a sense as a country.
Ntuli says his sculptures are meant to encourage society to resolve the issues of greed and corruption.
Here, I am a Sangoma, I'm throwing down the bones in order to divine the state of the nation, the state of the universe, the state of our environment, the state of our own mental health, as to what exactly happens. We have a pandemic here that is threatening our lives. Hundreds of thousands of people are dying, yet there are still some people who are using the money for the pandemic, in order to corrupt it for their own children and they themselves. So these bones then, as we are dealing with here, are actually making a pronouncement.
What this exhibition has done, it's challenged what curating is, because for a long time we've thought about curating as being traditional, as being going to a space, seeing artworks, etc. And particularly via these bones has challenged art and the art industry, even how we speak of art.
The exhibition was originally meant for a museum show. However, due to the coronavirus lockdown, it has been presented virtually ahead of a museum tour now scheduled for 2021. To enhance the online viewing experience, Ntuli recorded 45 praise songs for each bone presented as audio notes to accompany the virtual exhibition. With reporting from Reuters, I'm Jason Patinkin in Washington.
After the break, you'll hear from a woman who has set not 1, but 2 records. Stay tuned.
Of Our Voices is about more than just sitting here and talking about women's issues. It's about listening to them
and bringing their opinions to the table and making sure their voices are heard.
Because our lived experiences, our stories, and our voices will help shape the next generation. Welcome back. You're watching Our Voices. Before the break, we explored the work of artists who are using their talent to bring color to a world seized by a pandemic. But they aren't the only ones having fun. Athletes are also doing what they can do to inspire their communities. For our next story, let's go to Zambia, where 20-year-old Zambian footballer Barbara Banda is inspiring girls to follow in her footsteps. Francesca Ling reports for Reuters.
20-year-old Zambian soccer player Barbara Banda has taken the Chinese Super League by storm after scoring an impressive 18 goals in 13 games.
You have to be hardworking. You have to show it off that you are capable of doing this.
Back home, Banda is inspiring girls to follow in her footsteps.
I've been watching her for the past, maybe it should be 6 months. It inspires me a lot. She's strong and courageous, and even her kind of play is just amazing. It's different from other football players in Africa. She has a fighting spirit.
The powerful forward spent her first 2 seasons at Spanish First Division club Logroño, before transferring to Chinese club Shanghai Sengli in January, where she finished the season 9 goals ahead of the nearest challenger.
Yeah, I stood out, but it's not that I'm the best, but I think it's the effort that I'm putting in as myself and my talent what I want in life. Because talent can be there, but if I'm not determined, then I can't go anywhere. So I have to work extra hard for me to be there. It takes someone to be disciplined. That's the first cardinal of a player.
Banda also plays for the Zambian national team and is part of a small group of young female players representing Africa on the global stage.
It's now people coming to know that, okay, African football is also there at their on the other level. So I think it's up to us as women to commit ourselves to whatever we want to do.
From Zambia, we head to South Africa, where Seretse Khumalo, the first Black African woman to conquer Mount Everest, appears to have set a Guinness World Record for the most money raised during an 8-hour stationary cycling fundraiser. As Franco Puglisi reports from Johannesburg, she'll use the money to build digital libraries for rural children whose education has been impacted by COVID.
From the highest peak of Mount Everest to a stationary bicycle, South African Seretse Khumalo is breaking new records. The first Black African woman to summit the world's tallest mountain in 2019, Khumalo gave herself a new challenge, breaking a Guinness World Record for charity. Through 8 hours of stationary cycling, Khumalo raised nearly $44,000 to build digital libraries for South Africa's rural students whose education suffered when schools closed from the pandemic.
I think we can't afford to leave any children behind. If you look at what happened with the lockdown and COVID-19, schools that did not have digital material to support their students were really locked down. Students were struggling, and we can't afford that.
Each digital library will have a mobile tablet computer with curriculum-based application and teacher training modules. Education aid group iSchool Africa helped fundraise for Khumalo and her team attempt to break the Guinness World Record.
We work in partnership with the schools, with donors, with sponsors, to really change the way we teach and learn and to look for solutions in a very challenging environment.
After 8 hours of cycling, Khumalo and her team were confident.
It was an awesome day, and at about around 1 o'clock, Sarah and I knew that we had broken the world record, which was what it was all about. Because it's for the children of this beautiful country.
While falling short of a personal goal to raise about $62,000, Khumalo says she will keep fundraising until they reach the peak of their goal to build 9 digital libraries for South African children. Franco Puglisi for VOA News, Johannesburg.
Surfing runs deep in California coastal culture, but it has long been the domain mainly of white Americans. Arturo Martinez reports from Los Angeles, a group of young African-American women have set out to change that.
When I was growing up, I heard so much, well, black people don't swim. And, I heard that from my father. When he first took me to the beach, he said, don't go out past the whitewash. If something happens to you, I'm not coming to get you. And, for me, that meant, okay, well, I got to learn how to swim. I got to learn how to take care of myself out here because he's not coming to help me. Pre-COVID, I was an active travel guide. Post-COVID, now I'm a surf instructor.
Paddle, pop. That's better.
So Black Girls Surf, their intention is to get more black women to be professional surfers. And so right now, we're just working here on the LA chapter, trying to get as many women of color in the water as possible. And then eventually, hopefully there'll be some, women from that stage that would like to progress onto the professional stage. I mean, you take something like Bruce's Beach. In the early 1900s, there was a black beach resort there. And so, black people lost one of the few beaches that they could go to. If there's only one slice of beach that black people could utilize at that point, then it's no wonder we don't have more black surfers. A lot of times surfing is something that's passed down from generation to generation. You see surfer dads out there with their little daughters, pushing them into the waves. Well, our dads didn't have that opportunity. if we can create this space where Black women feel safe to come into and, feel safe learning, and that then they already feel like, okay, I can handle myself here. That's what we're really looking to do, right? Is just to empower women to feel that they belong in this ocean, no matter which beach they go to. A lot of experiences that you have in the water parallel life itself. Just getting out into the water is this constant battle, right? But then you have these moments of calm and peace. Like, I can see some of the choices that I make, whether it's, am I going to paddle into this wave, or am I just going to keep paddling for all the waves, that kind of parallel, the way I behave in the real world. But also, I think water just in general is extremely therapeutic. Just, it's incredibly calming. I think our bodies are about 70% water. So it's almost like you're going home, right? Like going back into the womb and just feeling comfortable and at peace. My hope is that one day when we go out in the water, and I see another, surfer of color, it's not like this kind of surprise, and that I just want to get to the point where that's normal, where we go out into the water and we see, all different shades, creeds, colors, whatever it is, and that nobody bats an eye.
After the break, we'll look at how COVID-19 is creating tension and challenges in the medical field.
This is a country that I chose to become a citizen. I didn't have to become a citizen. I chose to become a citizen.
I feel like America gave me an opportunity to pursue my passion as an artist.
I really believe that clean eating is a way to a more successful life, or a happier life, if you want to put it that way.
One of the things that helps me wake up every morning is doing better, being better.
We grew up poor, and so I'm always focused on helping the working class be able to have a more comfortable lifestyle.
I'm passionate about doing justice every day. I oftentimes say that justice is a verb, not a noun. I believe in action and moving the ball forward.
Welcome back. You're with Our Voices, and we turn to a more serious note. Senegalese campaigners say the COVID-19 pandemic is causing a decline in breast cancer screenings as women are avoiding medical centers in fear of catching the virus. Estelle Njanjo reports from Dakar.
Senegal's Anti-Cancer League says fewer women are getting breast cancer screenings because of concerns they might contract COVID-19. To boost screenings for October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the League partnered with medical centers and hospitals to give discounted prices. For those unable or scared to visit hospitals, the Pink October truck sets up in public spaces and offers free consultations.
Those who come here are the ladies who have never been diagnosed with breast cancer. Among those patients, some already have abnormalities or masses that they have had for a year, but they have never done a consultation.
The Anti-Cancer League says the pandemic and related restrictions are also discouraging cancer patients for getting treatment.
Many have given up on their treatment because of this pandemic, but we at the league level have tried to do our best by guiding patients who did not have the income to travel, by paying their transport and encouraging them to continue their treatment.
The World Health Organization says over 10,500 cases of cancer are diagnosed every year in Senegal. 35% of them are cervical and breast cancers. Doctors say when detected early, the vast majority of breast cancer cases can be treated.
With this pandemic, I was very afraid to come for a mammogram. But with the awareness campaign made since the beginning of October, I gave myself a push and I said to myself, why not? I'm going to get tested.
Senegal's Anti-Cancer League says the campaign has been a success with hundreds of women visiting the Pink October truck daily. Estelle Njanjo for VOA News, Dakar.
And cancer cases are on the rise in Kenya, where treatment is not widely available and is expensive. Sadly, there also remains a stigma attached to losing one's hair from chemotherapy. One hairdresser in Nairobi is providing free wigs for female cancer patients to help restore their confidence. Ruud Elmendorp reports.
Putting a smile on cancer patients' faces. That's what beautician Diana Akech does by providing free wigs in her Nairobi salon. 45-year-old Mary Nafula, a mother of 3, was diagnosed with cancer a year ago. Treatment saved Nafula's life, but her hair fell out, making her feel exposed. Now she finally has something to smile about.
Like what this salon has done to us today, she has instilled confidence in us, and through this we can live positively, we can embrace all the challenges that accompany us, knowing that we are going to heal.
Cancer is the third leading cause of death in Kenya, according to the World Health Organization, and the numbers are rising, from 37,000 reported cases in 2012 to almost 48,000 currently. Dr. Gladwell Kiari is an oncologist at the Nairobi Hospital. She attributes the rise to increased cancer screening and a change of lifestyle.
We are smoking more, we are taking alcohol more, our traditional diets have changed, and we no longer eat the traditional lifestyle foods that we used to. So we have more fatty foods, we have less water and greens in our food, more processed food.
The government responded with awareness campaigns and opening more diagnostic centers across the country. But most Kenyans who live on less than $3 a day cannot afford treatment. Nafula was fortunate enough to be able to pay for cancer therapy. And now having a wig, she's relieved of feeling stigmatized, especially on the streets and often in the Kenyan public transport vehicles called matatus.
I was very sick, I couldn't walk, and the matatu guy was like, "You sick people, you're supposed to take in an ambulance. You should not enter the matatu because cancer can infect us." I felt so bad.
Diana Akech started doing makeovers 5 years ago after a friend developed cancer. The friend lost her hair, but Akech gave her a wig.
And I shared the story on social media, and everybody started, nominating their friends. And my friend, my friend gave me the willpower to keep doing this. So yeah, she's the one who motivated me. She's in heaven right now, and I'm sure she's very proud of what I'm doing.
The wigs cost around $250 each and are paid for by donations from hospitals and companies. For those recovering from cancer, the journey is often long and painful. A wig can ease the pain and serve as a reminder that they are not alone. Ruud Elmendorp for VOA News, Nairobi.
What a fascinating story, and that brings us to the end of our show today. Thank you all for watching, and remember, to get the latest from VOA, be sure to visit our website. We're at voanews.com. And you can also find Our Voices on social media. Our handle is @VOA Our Voices. Until next time, it's goodbye.
Even if INEC opens their portal today for continuous registration, we would rather complain than go to register.
Yeah. If we go and know, are we going to change Africa? Because what did they do to make our lives better since then?
Because their stories will inspire you.
Inspire us to be like who? Like Awolowo.
Inspire you to know that once upon a time,
some people also struggled.
They don't even consider it that it's important
No,
for
no,
you
it's
to
not.
make the place conducive for people living with disabilities.
More accessible.
Because Nigeria has actually gone too far the other way to come back to look after the disabled.
Somebody rigs the election and then he's, fraudulently sworn in. He goes for Thanksgiving. The rest of us will join, Your Excellency.
Yeah.
But the day he's removed, we say he was corrupt.
Don't forget the political angle.
You mean
Just
brown
like
envelope will stop?
No, brown envelope will, I don't want to say will not stop, but I've done hand like this, Sha. But quickly.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the results of tomorrow's election. You have it already, Abi.
I am not hungry. If I need appointment, all I need to do is to start praising government.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let anybody come and say. The moment we stop having charlatans occupy political offices, we will curtail hate speech.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
Welcome to the show. This is Tea Time on Plus TV Africa, where you're up to speed with the biggest entertainment stories, analyze and dissect them for you, for your digestion. I am Ife Oluwa Oshinke, and I have with me Ife Omai and Quincy Jones. White Quincy Jones.
Bego.
He's not white.
He's not. He's
He
nothing
is.
like
I asked
a
this
white-
guy his favorite ethnic food, and guess what he said?
What? Rice.
Spaghetti.
No, wait. It's a lie. It's a lie.
No, you did not.
It's not
I'm
exactly.
serious.
No. He didn't say ethnic food.
Spaghetti.
He said your
Are you
favorite
Italian?
food. He said
Did
your
he say
favorite
spaghetti?
food.
He said spaghetti.
Wow. Okay.
All the T's went missing.
Yeah, spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Favorite local food, favorite ethnic group. We're talking about tribalism and
Yeah, we're talking about
Okay, what food do you like from another ethnic
You're not
group
gonna
or
listen
from
to me,
another
are you?
Are you Italian or something?
Wow.
And he said spaghetti. Why you say spaghetti? Okay,
I lose.
now.
I lose.
Spaghetti.
I lose.
Yeah, what's your favorite ethnic food?
Pounded yam and egusi soup.
So now you have one. I thought they were. I thought they were.
Why do you say it like that?
I thought you said pounded spaghetti.
Wow. This guy.
He's like that. He's like that. He is like that. I can't believe Quincy would say spaghetti.
He said
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Why would I call
much.
him White Quincy? Why would I call him White
You asked for my
Quincy?
favorite food, dude.
I asked you for your favorite ethnic food.
Maybe
When me, I was talking about.
I know you're the ethnic. Since T's just kept missing in my mouth, you know?
Ethnic food. All right, so let's talk about Ghana jollof, Nigerian jollof. What's your favorite?
Yeah, I heard that conversation.
What's your favorite?
Oh,
Be real though.
Ghana jollof.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. Whenever we shoot this show, then they move us go another country because I feel really weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like
Ghana jollof can I think when you don't hit Ghana jollof right, you can't manage it. But if you don't hit Nigerian jollof rice, you can manage. You can manage it. That's the problem. So I feel like people haven't just eaten the right
Ghana jollof.
Proper Ghana jollof is
in
Where did you eat Ghana jollof?
in Ghana.
Okay. Which place?
Accra,
A particular place.
Odoko. That was the first time I ate jollof rice in front of my uni. Well, pre-uni, like an A-level.
Oh, you schooled in Ghana as well?
Yeah. Like an A-levels thing.
So I was telling him that
No
you
wonder.
get shredded beef in your jollof. He was shocked. Like,
Okay, I don't know about shredded beef.
Really? So all those black things, what do you think they are?
They're not beef, they're liver.
Beef.
Oh, what's that
And
thing?
they
Is
put
it liver or kidney?
liver, beef.
But that's regular. You said beef, bro.
No, beef and liver, depending on where you eat it.
I did beef you.
So at least if you know.
But Nigerian jollof is nice, so.
Ghana jollof is
Nigeria
too dope.
is nice.
Yeah, Nigeria is dope.
To be honest with you,
So because of you guys, I'm
Yeah.
going to have my aunt make better Nigerian jollof for the whole.
For the whole.
You will see.
When should we be see? This time we need it.
And Nigerian jollof is even too different. All the time, there's like too many variations of Nigerian jollof. If you cook it on fire, if you cook it on the pot, on gas,
Do you understand?
It's too different.
It
but
comes at you in different shapes and sizes.
What about wache? Don't you think wache is amazing? You don't like wache?
There are days. I have to have not eaten it in a long
Thank you.
time.
How about
shito?
shito?
Oh, shito is nice.
It is?
Shito is nice.
It is?
Shito is nice. You know my favorite is water soup and fufu. That's what they call it there, fufu. But it's not really our
not
fufu.
soup.
Oh
yes!
I'm
having an Iraq.
Yeah.
Granite soup.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't even sound right.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the soup. You go to pack a granite.
No.
When you take one okele, granite to be inside.
What about what's it called now? That one that you eat with raw pepper and fish, like raw.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The one
I
that you wrap
saw
in
that
a
on
leaf.
Mr. Easy's page.
The one that you wrap in a leaf.
Yeah.
That smells horrible.
Yes.
Okay.
Kenke and pepper, raw onion, raw tomato,
Yeah, that's nice.
and fish. That is super dope.
Yeah. Did you know this? Like, they eat with their hands for almost everything.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They have
Even
what?
for rice.
They have what?
Indomie.
They have what?
They eat with their hands
They
for
eat with their
everything.
hands.
And you know, I kind of like that.
For
At first, I was
Indomie.
really weirded out when I got there. I'm like, why are you eating with your hands? But there's something actually about like
It's
contacting
kinda
your
sweeter.
food with your fingers. I don't know. Maybe it's in my head, but it
It's
actually tastes nice.
psychological,
Yeah.
trust me. Anyways,
Okay.
enough
Before
of
Quincy thinks that we're from the village.
But we're
now.
trying to make him black, you know. It's too white for our liking. How
mm.
can somebody's favorite food be?
I'm at the center of the table
Spaghetti.
today.
How can
Spaghetti.
Wow.
I know, come on, man.
Oppa.
We need to take you to Ghana.
You say, Okpo.
We need to take you to Ghana for a holiday.
Bro, I don't mind. I really want to
let's
be
do
in
that.
Ghana.
Are you sure it's
Actually.
the food you are going for or something?
No, it's not
else?
the food. It's everything aside the food, actually. the scenery, that's actually secondary.
Ghana
But primary is the women. God, that's the truth.
The women, right?
Are you playing with me? I follow like 50 billion Ghanaian beings. I'm not even joking. So it's just like, hey, I'm in Ghana. Hey, I'm in Ghana. Then copy it and just be pasted.
Anyways, we're not going to spoil you guys. We're just going to go to it. And yes, so the first story for the day is, it says at some point it was rumored that Tiwa Savage stopped being friends or ended an alleged romantic relationship with Wizkid after he allegedly refused to have her on his Made in Lagos album, one of the dopest albums so far. Well, the latest from the FC camp is that after she brought on that they brought out an old tweet of Tiwa Savage, Wizkid could not take her on a date, which happened to be as far back as 2011. You know, when the Starboy album just came out. In the tweet, Wizkid initially posted, "Happy birthday to my favorite female vocalist out of Nigeria, at Tiwa Savage. Enjoy your day, mommy, Weezy." And she wrote, "My baby, thank you so much. I wish I was a few years younger today so you can take me on a date. Laugh out loud. Love you, on." What do you guys think?
This tweet just makes me laugh. I don't think you even say something like this anymore in this day and age.
Yeah, love you, mommy.
Yeah, and like, you're the best.
You'll be like, baby girl.
Like best thing anymore. Like,
you'll be like, right now, probably be like, baby girl.
Yeah, he won't say you're the best thing I've ever heard. You're the best thing after fried rice. He's not gonna say that. So that just shows that this tweet is very old. Okay, the problem with this tweet isn't that she said it. It's because years after.
Bro, it
was rumored that they had a thing, so it makes.
But it was rumored though. It hasn't been confirmed.
We just saw him tap out.
Why is this guy about to laugh? Like, it hasn't been confirmed. T-Bills has guns. Are you guys joking?
First of all, I think T-Bills made that rumor very...
I'm listening, sorry. Please, T-Bills rumor. I'm listening.
Isn't a T-Bills rumor?
Oh my gosh. I think T-Bills made that rumor a lot more legit because of the way he reacted to Wizkid. And then also, Wizkid tapping her behind in videos. That was
apart from videos, on stages and stuff.
Yeah,
all over the world.
And then they decided to kiss it on every stage they performed. Like 4 different or 3 different situations.
Maybe they're just friends,
What kind of friend is that?
Benefit.
Exactly. So that's okay. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with a grown lady liking somebody a lot younger, as long as the boy's not a child.
Which is my next question.
It's not a
Would
problem.
you date a woman that is like 10 years older than you?
Yeah, but wait, let me talk about Wizkid and Tiwa Savage first now before you switch.
Okay.
Before you switch trajectory.
Go on.
Look, I don't know. I know they did, so I'm not in their bedroom.
No, you're not.
But I just strongly.
But why not your
house?
Why not just in
it could be their kitchen. It could be
It could happen anywhere.
It could happen anywhere. On the couch, on the floor. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
From the bed to the bedroom. I don't know what that means.
So
either way, I think they actually probably did have a thing sexually.
Why do you think so?
It's just glaring, bro. It's just obvious. You just look at it and you can see
I have girls that I can touch all over, but
that's not it, bro. You can see.
Let me even tell you what Ife does. Ife touches the girls and the girls complain. You can see that the girls
are on TV. Wow. Say that.
Not complaining, but like, leave me alone. It doesn't look like we're together. So don't act like as if you have friends like that. No.
Counsel, you have the floor.
He's the pest that disturbs the friends that he has. That's the kind of touching. That's not the same thing we saw with Wizkid and Tiwa Savage. So don't try and set yourself in this category.
Please play music videos and
okay, so you've been accused live on TV that you inappropriately
Not inappropriately.
That is not
okay. Is it appropriate?
It's more of a nuisance to these women.
Okay, they say you practice being a nuisance consistently with women's bodies.
That is not true. These women want me as much as I want them.
That defense just sounds wrong.
You need a lawyer.
Yes.
Anyways, in case this comes out years later, disclaimer, I don't know which Ife is talking about. There's Ife Lanion, there's Ife Omai, and I don't know what Ife you do, but definitely not me.
That's your disclaimer.
Yeah, that's my disclaimer. Yeah. It works.
All right, so I think they did. I think they did it. I think they did it more than once. I think they consistently did it, and it was sweet. I needed to add that part. But in the case of would I date someone older, I've done that like almost all my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about currently?
The older, the better.
Currently?
I'm a single Pringle, bro. Just floating in the Pringle box. Like,
So what about you? Will you date a man that's 10 years older than you?
Of course.
20 years?
Why not?
30 years?
Yes.
40 years?
Maybe 40 is a bit much.
30 years?
I'm in my 20s.
30 years?
30 years?
Yes.
30?
Yes!
So the person is 50.
50 something actually,
Yes, I
because
can.
she's
50,
20
obviously, 50 something.
Yes, I can.
The person is probably late 50s.
I can.
60-year-old man.
No, that's an entry 40.
58, Inko.
That's okay.
Will you manage?
58 is okay,
Will
but
you manage 58?
I will.
will you
be
marry
okay.
one?
What did they use past each other?
The thing is, you're generalizing what 50-year-olds look like. You see,
Yeah,
so for
true,
me, the 50-year-old man is like, you know,
Really
on
fit and
point.
stuff.
Oh, so you're
You
going to
know,
pick the
mentally-
only existing 50?
Exactly.
No.
Right.
No, there are a lot of
Right.
50-year-old men. I see myself when I'm 50.
If I shut your mouth, you're already unfit right now. What are you on about?
Oh my goodness. Wow. You are here for the jugular and the kidney.
Okay, I'll stop. That's the
No,
last
Please do not.
We're enjoying
Please
this.
continue. Me, I'm enjoying it. Because when he started the show, he started with me. Now, tables turn. Yeah.
Hey, I don't even know where to start from.
Okay, let me remind you what she said. She says you're unfit at the moment.
Stop it now, you too.
You said it.
I could do 100 push-ups in the morning.
Yeah, you cannot.
Are you gonna put your money to it?
I
I'll do
put
it after
my
the show.
money
After
on
the
it,
show, how much
yes.
are we putting?
Can you do 10?
5,000
Can you do 10
Wait.
right
Can
you do 10 right now without
Right now, I
panting?
wish I could without. Come on,
You're not
who
gonna
doesn't
stop.
pan?
You're not
Yeah,
gonna stop.
I'm not gonna
100.
stop. 100, 5K.
Rihanna.
Should you take that? Should you take the bet?
And you will not pant.
Well, no, don't say I will not pant.
And you're gonna
It's
go
10
the,
push-ups,
the,
bro.
not the.
He said
the-
100. 100.
I said 100.
100?
Yes.
Yeah.
How much?
5,000.
5K.
Can we,
And if
can
you
we
don't-
add another zero, please?
And if you can't do it, would you give me 5K?
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
100. It's a deal. It's on, people. Yes.
50K, bro.
Challenge accepted.
Me, I'm with
Pray
you.
for me.
Okay, bro.
Wish me the best
higher
of
the
luck.
better.
So I can't even climb stairs. When he's climbing stairs, he'll be doing.
Hey, God. On TV.
What stairs are you talking about exactly?
If it's okay, continue your show, please.
I see where you're going.
Very disgusting, man.
Anyways, we have to move into the next story. The hit-and-run driver who allegedly killed Nicki Minaj's father, Robert Maraj, has turned himself into the police. The 7-year-old man, Charles Povich, turned himself in on Wednesday, February 17, 2021. According to court document, Povich allegedly got out of his car, stood over the injured man, and asked if he was okay before fleeing. Povich was arraigned in the Nassau County District Court on charges of leaving the scene of an incident causing death and tampering with physical evidence. It's a 70-year-old man.
Yeah, that was a shock to me.
Yeah,
I
shock
wasn't,
us.
as in,
I wasn't expecting
at
that.
all.
Yeah, I thought there would even be a conspiracy theory
Do you
that one of our
understand? Like,
enemies
Nicki's
that
enemy
sent
has come
somebody to kill
I was
a
looking for super
father.
story stuff.
Yeah,
I
I don't know. There's just this thing that comes with celebrities that you just expect drama
There's nothing
around
that,
anything.
that nothing happening in their life
naturally.
is normal,
Yeah.
you know? Like, I wanted drama, no offense, but...
We did.
I
We
did.
want
I
drama.
did.
You didn't.
Sorry, it's just a hit and run.
And it was kind of cute that he actually went and checked on the guy.
And he ran away.
Yeah, maybe
Cuteness dismissed.
You could have called 911 though. You could be fleeing and calling 911. How about that?
they'll track you.
Your number, true.
They'll track you.
And they'll find where the satellite. We watch film.
Yeah, we do.
And
maybe he watches
really
film
as
too.
effective as
Exactly. Maybe which is probably the reason why he also did what he did.
He was
probably
watching
felt
too
like
many
the government
movies,
was
yeah.
as effective as they claim
The
they
movies,
are.
yeah.
I'm happy for Nicki's family. I think there is a big
At least
relief
closure.
that comes with
Yeah.
knowing exactly what happens and there's no loose ends. Because I think death has a way of like making you very obsessive.
Think about
like
several things.
yeah, you know, like if you don't have some, not that it's really that important to be honest, like you know why the person died because the person still died. But when you don't know, all of a sudden you're like very obsessive about that. I had a friend that went through this constantly because they didn't know how his mom passed away, and there was all these ifs and maybes and buts, and he was obsessed with it. And I started to look really crazy because then the conspiracy theory started to enlarge and like, okay, there's somebody from France and he's a Russian and she's a spy. You know, it goes wild. So I think that really brings peace of mind that you can't really juggle your mind anymore. So you have to just come to terms with mourning this person and moving on and all of that. So I think that is what it would give them, not that it would make them happier that they found the person who kills, because it doesn't actually make you feel any better. But it is what it is, and it happens. And I think that's something about life, that it's just really, really fickle. Like, you don't know. You could just be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And
or even the wrong place at the right time, the right place at the wrong time.
But where? Everything, all the mathematical
wisdom,
probabilities. Yeah, so I'm happy for them, and good job to the guy who did that. He clearly has a conscience. I don't know if personally speaking, I would turn myself in.
Turning yourself in is like reducing probable sentencing.
Because they'll find him anyways.
Because now you'll be you get empathy
Cooperating
towards
with
it. You get empathy from whoever. Oh, he turned himself in.
And he's
no,
70.
he killed somebody actually. Yeah, he's 70. Should he be driving? You understand what I mean? There are different options. There are different sides to it.
Can still
I don't see.
If he's a fit 70-year-old man like I will be, then yes, he should still be driving.
I see where you're going with that, and I respect that.
God.
What do you mean you respect? I don't understand.
I respect that. Can I not respect your wish?
Do you want us to zoom in to some places?
Yes, come on, man. Could you know? See my shirts can I even come?
Okay.
It's because you're wearing a small shirt.
She see for drink.
I know what this is. I know what it is.
You do?
What is it? I don't even know what it is.
Witchcraft. Witchcraft is what it is. Just move on.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
You guys haven't taken your turns on this.
Well, what's he called? It's great that he turned himself in, but I think he should face the law because he killed somebody. Full stop, to be very honest.
But it's not like it did it. It's still going to be manslaughter anyways, because it's not like, there was premeditated. It wasn't like it was premeditated, accidents do happen. But should we stop when accidents happen? That's
Yes,
the
you
big
should.
Yes, of course we should. But will you stop? Okay, let's bring it back home.
Please don't bring it home.
Let's bring it
My
home.
view changes instantly. Not because I would run, but
I would not turn myself in. I wouldn't.
I
In Nigeria,
I would take care of the person.
if you hit somebody, depending on the area, would you come down from your vehicle?
Okay, so I once actually hit someone a while ago, probably maybe 5-6 years ago. Yeah, I hit this guy.
Did she die?
It was a weird situation. It was a guy. The guy was trying to cross. He jumped into the road. I promise you that for free because it was a freeway. And I was trying to avoid him. So instead,
Is that why
I
your
picked
car
him
still
here.
has that dent?
No, it's not. My car has no dent. I apologize. My car has no dent.
Just
So I
joking.
picked him up here
I think Tebo has
and
turned
dropped
again.
him. I did tell you. I picked him up on this side of the road and I dropped him on the other side of the road because I was trying to avoid him. Then I stopped, and this is Ogba. And it's before they had their, really super tarred roads and all of that. So it's like busy and noisy and very, very aggressive. And then I stopped, and then a lot of people, and I tried to calm the situation with energy, like, that I lifted the guy by myself, put him in my car, and then got somebody to follow me. And then one bike guy was chasing after me like I was going to kidnap the guy and go, took him to the hospital and paid the bills.
Okay, so in
and it's fine.
regards to that particular moment, I think I would stop and get out. But let's say I hit someone and whatever happens, and I leave that scene. I am not...
No, but he won't die instantaneously.
Have you seen situations where people actually hit other people, and then when they come down from their cars, they're trying to mob them, they're trying to do this to them, they're trying to hurt those people?
Yes.
You guys, that's a normal procedure in Lagos, like,
What?
where you're not seeing. They try to mob you, they try to beat you up.
That hit you?
No, the people around.
People around will try to beat you up,
Instantaneously,
like,
your phones,
in fact, that
everything
moment,
in the car.
that
You,
very
the person
moment,
that hit the person.
Yes, the person who
that
hit the
very
person.
moment, they will say you are drunk. You see, I'm seeing high now. He don't drink. He don't drink. You know, they see him. They'll start.
I've
flip
once
the
been
table.
accused of being a SARS police officer. I'm not even kidding
It's
you.
your voice. It's oppressive.
She's trying to say you look like one. Well, Tea Time continues right after this break. Stay with us.
Hey, chakalaka chepache, koshila koshara. This is Bayu, and you're watching Tea Time on Plus TV Africa.
We can't talk about education reform if we don't decolonize our education system.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize. Because it's just cultural. And I think it's just human nature.
They stop paying us salary. I don't like remembering it.
I am angry at Nigeria. I'm angry at this government which seems to be letting us down. I am angry at us as a people.
In the process of struggling to free myself from his hand, he tore my pants and he raped me.
Yes, I commit the offense truly.
Young girl, do you know where you are going? I say, I'm going to America. I say, now so that they talk, you are going to Libya. Which America?
accident do mark our place. Some people they die now.
This is Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
A lot of the jobs that exist today will not exist in the next 10 years.
10 years.
When I see people today shouting, we're not too young to run, we are ready to run. Ready to run to where?
The people of excellence are, to a certain extent, being held ransom by idiots and bandits.
Once you are in government, you believe everything you do is right. And once you are in opposition, everything the government does is wrong.
And so it's time for us to take over power.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the results of tomorrow's election. Okay, you have it already.
I am not hungry. If I need appointment, all I need to do is to start praising government.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let anybody come and say. The moment we stop having charlatans occupy political offices, we will curtail hate speech.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
Even if INEC opens their portal today for continuous registration, we would rather complain than go to register.
If we go and know, are we going to change Africa? Because what did they do to make our lives better since
will
then?
Inspire you.
Inspire us to be like who? Like our Lord.
Inspire you to know that once upon a time, some people also struggled.
They don't even consider it that it's important to make the place conducive for people living with disabilities.
More accessible.
Because Nigeria has actually gone too far the other way to come back to look after the disabled.
Somebody rigs the election and then he's, fraudulently sworn in. He goes for Thanksgiving. The rest of us will join, Your Excellency.
Yeah.
But the day he's removed, we say he was corrupt.
Don't forget the political angle.
You mean brown envelope will stop?
No, brown envelope will, I don't want to say will not stop, but I've done hand like this, Sha. But quickly.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is still Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. And of course, you know I would do it. We bring you the best. And yes, talking about the best, we have the best siblings in the world joining us on the show today. And they go by the name Stones and Jezreel. Stone and Jezreel. And if you are a religious follower of the show, we've had Stone like twice or thrice, or maybe, I don't even know. But we've had Stone over and over again, spreading the gospel of good music. But I'll be telling you a little bit about this sibling. And they are dedicated to using music as a tool to uplift people through the poetic words in their songs. S&J's writing and musical influences include Nas, Lauryn Hill, Fela Kuti, Emily Sandé, and Bob Marley. The duo formed after Stone's rap crew split up and Jezreel moved to Ireland. The combination of Jezreel's soulful, melodic voice and Stone's poetic rap style led to the duo teaming up to create their own style and sound. And since have shared stage with the likes of Michael Bublé and opened for Rihanna, Akon, Coolio, Two-Face, P-Square, and a host of others. The follow-up singles, This Kind Love one featuring Face Off, Even If, were received nationally and internationally, with the band scoring 2 nominations for an IMEA award for the Song of the Year with Even If, and R&B Soul Artist of the Year in 2016. They have a new single, ladies and gentlemen, and in this one, they believe they can fly, as it's titled Fly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's welcome to the show the phenomenal Stone and Jezreel. How you guys doing?
Hi, people.
Wonderful.
Thanks for that introduction.
Wonderful introduction.
How you guys doing, though? Nice to finally meet Jezreel. We've met Stone over and over. Stone feels like a co-anchor on this show already. Yeah, but how you guys doing, though? How you guys doing?
No, we're doing really good, really good. We're in lockdown in Ireland, but you know, we're still pressing in. But all's good.
All right. You know, speaking of your music, you know, you guys have been putting in a lot of work, and then we know you have new videos. You know, tell us about that. How has the pandemic really affected your creativity, or how has it improved your creativity?
Do you want to answer that, Stone?
No, go ahead. I'm an anchor here. Just.
It's my turn.
Nice
I'm
one.
gonna answer all questions. No, I mean, like the pandemic started off, you know, everyone was kind of like in panic, but after some time we found a reading, you know, so it was really about kind of setting up your space to be able to still stay creative, you know, write songs and also even work on the songs that we had done before, and you know, like what we're doing, we're bringing out songs that we had recorded, we've done the videos, so it really helped us to, you know, just sit back, you know, strip everything back and say, okay, what's the next step? How are we going to take advantage of this? And I think our music is really, really timely at the time. At the moment, you know, which there's a lot of people going through a lot in the world, so they need something good to hear, something to make them dance, something to make them happy and motivated. So it has really pushed us to bring out a lot of our songs. Jezreel, I really want to know, because obviously I've spoken to Stone many times, and he had said all these great things about how he's working with his sibling and it's awesome, but I don't know if it's the same for you. You know, these boys, brothers sometimes can be a pace. I want to know from your own perspective, like.
You don't start.
So I want to know. Don't worry. We can mute him so he doesn't hear what you have to say. But I want to know what it's like working with your brother. For the sake of girl power, I hope you're not going to attack me as you've been attacking the guys in the studio.
Oh, okay. You've been watching.
No,
I would not.
I would not. I'm prejudiced. I am prejudiced. I am for women only. I'm kidding. Good.
Obviously.
But I liked it though. It's good. You're pulling them out. No, yeah. It's obviously you know, as working with your sibling, it's great because it's family. You can't walk away from family. You know, no matter how upset you are at the end of the day. But we do have different personalities as well. We have different beliefs and ideas and opinions. Sometimes that clashes, but you know, like I said, you have a focus, you have a purpose while you are together. So you stick to that, and that really drives you.
Right.
Alrighty.
Now, guys, nice to meet you for the first time. So let me ask you this, right? With the kind of music you make, you might have met a lot of artists all over the world, definitely trying to key their music in with a particular market, right? But where would you say you fit in, or your sound fits in?
Yeah, I'll sound like, I mean, if you listen to, I don't know if you've listened to some of our old songs as well, like it was mainly really pure English. There was no African lingua in it or anything. And at some point we started writing songs to include our language and Pidgin English and Yoruba and everything. But it's actually been accepted even by, you know, like Irish people, Spanish people. So I think at the end of the day, music is all about the soul. You know, it's all about how it makes you feel. Sometimes I listen to South African music and I don't even know what they're saying, but I'm like, this is such a good song. So it actually does cross over, not just in Africa and Nigeria. You know, it is being played here and enjoyed here as well. So as long as you connect to the music, I wouldn't like to just kind of, you know, say, okay, it's just meant for this particular set of people. So I think it's universal, in my opinion.
All right, so that just brought me to the question, you know, now that you just told me it's in pure English, it doesn't have any Nigerian lingo, you know, people will begin to look at you like, oh, are these guys sellouts? You're Nigerians for crying out loud. You guys not going to sing. I'm just waiting for that day that, you know, Stone will come and do, baby, you know, but we haven't seen that. Should we be expecting anything like that from you guys, you know, some Afrocentric sound?
I think we have some songs like that, you know, and may not sound like the, you know, the current kind of, I don't know what the name of the sound is right now, but maybe not that beat. But at the end of the day, with music, I think you stay true to yourself, you know. I may not be able to sing the slang and everything as much as, say, for example, I don't know, Yemi Alade would be, but my sound is unique to myself, you know. For me, music is reaching the people that, you know, that you have been called to reach, you know. So it's not really about trying to sound like somebody else or sound, you know.
Sorry, not to look like, sorry guys, but do you think your sound is kind of conscious? Because when I listen to your music, I notice you guys are being particularly conscious. You know, you don't hear a lot of F words, curse words, and all of that. Is that actually your strategy, or, you know, that just happens based on who you guys are?
I think, I think more me. But yeah, I'll let Stone answer that.
Yeah, because it's a very important part of music, or we bringing music out there, what we're creating and actually giving to people. That is a very important part of it. So it's just one important part of it. We don't like to kind of put it in one place. It's quite general, but conscious is one important part of it. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Would you even go as far as saying that you're a Christian? Because I've seen Jesus in your music videos.
Lots of Jesus, actually.
Yeah. So would you go as far as say that you guys are Christian artists as well?
Well, I'm Christian by, you know, that's my faith, and I don't hide that at all. It comes out in my music, I think, even if I don't say Jesus this or Jesus that, it is who I am. Do you know what I mean? So it will come out somehow in my music, because that's what I represent.
The reason I say that is because most people would, you know, be in that category, and because it's another industry in the music industry on its own, you know. So it seems like y'all don't really want to be there, but you're in there. So where do we put you into, or are you going to
conscious musician?
Yeah, because I mean,
that music is conscious, you know.
Yeah. Right. So you don't want to be categorized as a gospel artist.
No, we won't say we're gospel artists, you know, because if you listen to a lot of our other songs as well, we talk about love, we talk about different things, you know. And if you have, like, for all our fans that have been with us from the beginning, we have different things we talk about. We have another song that talks about Oroife and how the guy kind of treats the girl and things like that. So that might not come across as Christian, you know, but so it will appeal to different people.
Right. So. Okay. Just before I let Quincy go, I wanted to know what you
let me go.
I want to know what your progressions are like. What are you looking at to make yourselves a lot bigger? Obviously, I don't think the ends of the world have heard your music, and I'm guessing that's everybody's, you know, aim or whatever. So how are you planning on expanding? Like, it's a new year, we're just in February. So do you guys have any concrete plans? Are you going to also come to Nigeria, do some things here? Like, I want to know what your expansion plans are really. Who's taking it?
I mean, you're 100% right that we're trying to expand and get this to a larger audience. I mean, our plans, our strategic plans, they come, you know, we have teams dealing with that. So I wouldn't want to be putting out the secrets of what we're doing, but definitely to know that we do have a lot of plans. And
Stone, it's tea time. You have to spill some tea. Even if you tell us that you have a new PA or something. Which one is all these PR answers you're giving us?
I sacked the last PA.
I call out the guys. You know this story. Huh?
we have like we have a double album we're working on that's coming out this year.
Yay.
And you know, from this single release, we're going to be dropping some other single releases. I know you said about Nigerian style, you know, the style of singing. We do have songs like that. And some of them will come out, and we're working on some of them.
What Nigerian lingo is in that song?
You will have Nigerian lingo in it. Yes.
Yeah, tell us one, just one.
Spill something, Stone.
We've been Niger people now. So
which Nigerian lingo
is that?
Oh yeah, maybe we'll switch to pidgin. Maybe we could confirm that.
Let me sing one. Just the chorus. Alright, wow.
Okay, we're looking forward to that, guys. Right.
Now, I want to ask you this. So the music business in general, I mean, all over the globe, has gone fully digital, right? And I want to believe that you guys have been making music well over at least over half a decade ago, right? Yeah. Looking at the awards and everything. Within that space and now, everything has changed. Literally about 80% of how the music business is conducted has changed. How have you been able to move with the change in times?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct there. And even with the pandemic as well, you find that you're not having shows outdoor, things like that anymore. I don't know about Nigeria. Well, I know about Nigeria. There's not much of a lockdown going on. You know, I see people posting and going out to restaurants.
No, when we were experiencing it, people were not there.
But over here in Ireland, like there's a lockdown, so you can't even have an event except it's online. You know, so obviously that has also helped us to kind of look at our strategies and really focus on that aspect of being present online on Instagram, on TikTok and Facebook and things like that. So I personally wouldn't be much of a social media person, but I've had to kind of, get myself to that level to say, okay, this is the platform where people will listen to the music. So we've, like Stone said, we're working with, social media specialists and everything who are also kind of helping us and to get on that track as well.
Right. Sorry. One more thing, right? Music is now almost at a point where it's all about top of the mind awareness, right? And I think according to Nielsen Music, for the past 2 years, there's a general decline in attention span for people, for movies, for music, everything, right? So what extra thing are you guys doing with your music or for your music to keep that awareness out there, aside from this interview?
Keep the fans glued.
Aside from this interview, you get what I mean? What extra stuff are you guys putting out there or doing?
Yeah, so, okay, extra stuff that we're doing, apart from this interview, we have other interviews as well. We also have, of course, we're in Ireland, so as much as we want to be present around the world as well for people to listen, we also have to, promote our music here as well. So we have other things here that are in store. We're working with, people who are organizing like, online shows and things like that so that we can get ourselves seen as well online as well. So there are other things that I do as well, and for the team, like working with charities, which is something that I like to do as well. That also kind of helps you to cut across other genres and other set of people that probably maybe might not be able to reach on a normal day. So there's a lot of that going on in the background as well, which we will also be showcasing on our social media platforms as well.
All right, speaking of social media platforms, we've seen, like he said, music has gone digital and all that. Now we see people promoting their music using social media, using TikTok, using all the, Instagram and all of that. But are you guys, you said you're not a social media person. Don't you think it's time for you to jump on that bandwagon and make it happen?
Oh, right. I mean, we already jumped on that. We've been on that bandwagon. It's just we were a bit slow by ourselves, so that's why you have to let the teams, handle this. So what we're doing now is handling that 100%. Because we had to move almost everything towards digital. I mean, the last time I recorded just from my phone, and it was a good recording, over the air. You know, so a lot of things that has happened technically,
right?
And we have, it's like you have no choice. So there's a lot of positives in it because you have no choice anymore doing it the other way.
All right, so we need to go on the music break, but I don't know if you guys have seen it before, but I've never seen people perform via Zoom. So we're going to be playing Fly, and that's going to be the first video of this music break, but I'd just like you guys to do like a quick duo, you know, just give us a rendition of Fly, you know, before the people get to see the video officially. So can you guys do that together real quick? So you guys should decide what you want to do. Is it the chorus? Is it a verse? What are you guys doing together?
I'm going to do the chorus.
And he's going to do his verse.
Maybe.
All righty, let's get that to happen real quick.
Oh, I go so to the shade. Your destiny is sure. Not them go tired if they wanna bring you on the low. Your life is in his hands and nothing you can do. Not them go tired if they wanna bring you on the low. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh.
I take a little fade and watch the clouds from my eyes, hustle on the pain and the reach with down. Now I'm gonna change it out like I did from the rap. I just wanna put it out like that. Was gonna freestyle, but it comes out right from the head like not in the song. So go check us out. It's Stone and Jezreel. I gotta spell it out like S-T-O-N-E. Should I continue? A-N-D-J-E to the Z-R-E-E-L. You can find us everywhere. Social media, we right there now, yeah.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's Stone and Jezreel dishing it out, you know, hot, as they hot, and now them go tire if they try to bring us down. And we're going on a music break. Thank you, John, Stone and Jezreel, for joining us on the show, you know, and nice to finally meet you, Jezreel in particular. Stone, you can go and sit down here. All right? All right, man, thank you guys for joining us on the show, and we'll take it away with a music break real quick.
Like the rainbow, be exactly who I was. Take a leap of faith and wash the clouds from my eyes. Stumble on the hustle and pain, but I rise. Do you and keep your head up to the sky. Everybody got a time when you get it, just fly, 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 fly with a little bit of courage and a little bit of light. Gotta be strong now, cause you running out of time. Make sure the little torch burns out through the night till you die.
Your destiny is sure. Nothing to tire if they wanna put you on and go. Your life is in His hands and nothing to you owe. Nothing to tire if they wanna bring you on along.
Anybody will won't fight you. Let them come, they already know. I'll be right beside you, like the wall of Jericho. They don't know, they don't know, they don't know what's going on. Monagiso, 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 my baby boo. I'll be a soldier for you. I'm getting better in Kung Fu. You should know I got you, and you don't need to guide me too. I'll be right beside you in anything that you do. If you ever need saving, I will be running to you, running, running, running to you. I'll be running to you, running, running, running to you. Anywhere that you go to, running, running, running to you. I'll be running to you, running, running, running to you. Anywhere that you go to.
When I'm looking for trouble, it's cause I know that I got you. Wanting my best, everybody, oh oh. And it's because of your Kung Fu. And anytime that I'm out of control, you hold me down. You never, never let go. Munagiso, 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 my baby boo. See all the battles you'll be fighting, and I'll be right there with you. I may be small, but I'm mighty, and I go running for you. And anybody waves I be, yes, don't be you, pull it, I be alright. And if I ever need saving, I'll be running to you.
Running, running, running to you. I'll be running to you, running, running, running to you. Anywhere that you go to, running, running, running to you. I'll be running to you, running, running, running to you. Anywhere that you go to, you don't need to worry, anything you want.
Sun up to sundown, love you don't go round down.
Hey, anytime you call me, baby, I go answer.
Any other brother, baby, you make them run out.
And if you want me coming to you, I go come to you.
Oh, you wanna see me, baby, don't tease me.
Tell me what you want, baby, say I'm not in my
Kiss me, I do, baby.
Welcome back, guys. This is still Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. I'm sure you enjoyed that break. And yes, that was Fly from Stone and Jezreel. What you guys think, man? We had Stone and Jezreel finally in the studio to meet Jezreel.
Yeah, she's a lot more. Obviously, I'm biased to women, but she's a lot more like chatty, and I like her.
I think she's cute.
Alrighty, man. Nice to meet you guys, and keep doing your thing. And yes, you know it is. This is family. Yes. So moving on to you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna be testing you guys on current affairs. I did that yesterday. Yes.
What?
So yes. Yes.
I didn't get that memo, bro.
I'm gonna be checking you guys on current affairs. I want to see how intelligent you can be.
I think you just enjoy embarrassing me.
No,
why don't you do world current affairs?
That's why I'm always asking, very easy questions.
Yeah.
All right, so okay, let's start. You see that this is super easy. No, you can't look at the screen. You can't look. All right, what does the eagle in the Nigerian coat of arms represent?
The what?
Eagle.
There's an eagle.
Oh my goodness.
You said there is an eagle. What does it represent?
I'm kidding. I don't know. Growth, freedom.
The eagle represents strength.
Freedom.
Alrighty, he got that. That's one. All right, so the next one.
Why would an eagle represent strength?
He's the designer. He's the designer of the flag.
Eagles are really
Just
strong,
leave the designer.
Yeah, they fly really high.
They don't see lion or elephant.
Like, it's around strength.
Or hippopotamus.
The designer.
The designer, don't leave him.
Which is the second largest continent in the world?
Continent
in the world.
Second largest.
Yeah, second largest continent in the world.
Australia?
No.
Second, largest in population or in mass?
Largest continent.
Largest continent.
Yeah. There's no regard. Largest continent. Why you people were Tony in
Second.
Wait.
Second largest.
Africa.
Second largest.
What's even the largest?
The largest is Asia, obviously.
Is it?
It has to be.
Or Russia?
Yeah, that's the largest. Asia, second largest.
Meant to be Russia.
It's not Russia. Is Russia a continent?
Russia is a country.
No.
Why you were Tony?
The continent Russia is on is big.
Second largest country.
South
Did you just say
America?
UK?
Europe? No, I said Why would I say UK?
It can't be.
Europe?
Come on, guys. We're leaving it.
Africa. She said Africa.
Oh, she did?
Yes, she did.
When did she say
You
that?
don't pay attention to us.
Even yesterday, I said 2018. I was like, no, take it on guessing. And
Yeah,
then
sorry.
2019.
See, we're not doing it again.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, come and take your
Which
mic.
African country first gained independence?
Egypt?
It's easy, man.
Ghana.
No.
How now?
No.
How?
They were.
Ghana was in.
It was early, Sha.
Egypt?
Not as
It was
early,
not
no.
Egypt. I don't know.
Come on, guys. Come on. You got this.
I don't know.
Ethiopia?
No, Ethiopia was never even.
They were never colonized.
You know when? Wait, make I talk something now. Wait.
I think we need to play this game more often.
Wait. You know
it was actually in 1847.
1847.
1947, my apologies.
1947?
I'm talking about Africa now.
Independence.
Yeah.
It's not South Africa, is it?
No.
No. South Africa even had
1847. Yes, I was right.
18. You said 19. Now.
18. I said 18 first, and then I looked at your face.
1847.
Like, yeah, they
really
were.
early.
Bro, the only this thing I know that were really prominent are Egypt. Where's Haile Selassie from again? Where's he from?
Selassie is from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia now?
No, Ethiopia was
is it Ethiopia?
colonized. Or maybe Somalia.
No.
I don't know.
Liberia, guys. All right, let's move into the next one.
Liberia. I thought Liberia and
Yes.
Ethiopia were the two countries that were never colonized.
Liberians were colonized by what country?
You tell us.
America, guys. All right, where's the current...
Okay, I need to argue that one with you because it was thought that Ethiopia and Liberia were the two countries that were not colonized. So, are you sure that the relationship that America had with
Liberia was colonized, but they gained independence really early, 1847. Really early.
And they were proper colonized?
Improperly colonized. Who is the current governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria?
Oh my God,
A thief, Sha. I don't know.
Dude, really? What? Please, when you get the playback, understand he's the only woman on the show.
Yes.
May they not do mistake back on the
Who is the current governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria? Come, Amy.
No, he's not. Godwin Emefiele.
Yes.
Is he? No, now he don't change now.
Gee, what
never
just
changed.
banned cryptocurrencies, bro? I thought you guys would know this because of the
Godwin
cryptocurrency
Emefiele.
How
ban.
do you think I would know
Who
this?
was the
I know
other
nothing about this
person?
place. Huh?
The finance person. That was... This
My
country
guy, he's
said no
Emefiele.
balance.
Let's move
Hey,
on.
Godwin Emefiele, I got it now.
Yeah,
No, you
tried,
didn't.
Yeah, you
So
did.
you guys got 1-1.
You say
I said Eme and he got it. So that's half. Okay, one
I
of the
thought
half
you said
one.
Emeka. I would have never said Emefiele. I swear. I swear, I've
Okay, who was the first governor general
my parents are not
of
watching
colonial
this. They will
Nigeria?
kill me.
Who was the first governor general of colonial Nigeria?
Governor General.
Of colonial. Now, you've just paid attention to details. Governor general.
Doesn't mean I'll get it.
Of colonial Nigeria.
Ask the viewers, they will tweet.
090 3,000 for her head.
I didn't tell you.
No, come on, man.
No, because you're probably
Governor
looking like these
General.
guys don't even know anything.
I might not even know anything, so...
Governor come on, Governor General. That term hasn't been used since the era of Lord
Lugard.
Exactly.
Lord Lugard. This guy doesn't get all your questions.
Because
Yes,
because,
other ones, my
because I
friend.
didn't give you.
No. They are
Who
too
was
easy for my
known
liking.
as the king of Afro?
They are too easy.
Who was known as the king of Afrobeat in Nigeria?
Are you being serious?
I'm kidding. This is
Really?
Wait, have you guys not heard the
It's
answer?
Wizkid, it's
Have you guys
Wizkid.
not heard the
It's
answer?
Wizkid.
I have like 3 people
Really?
in mind, dude. Wizkid, Burna Boy.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, that's what
No,
was
that's Fela
Watoni. That was
Anikulapo
Watoni. It's Fela. You
She
can't
said that was. She said that was
Watoni.
Watoni. Was it Watoni now?
Yeah, rubbish. You can't ask on an entertainment table that kind of question. Now, if you want to embarrass us, keep up with your government and your
Okay, what is
civilians.
the motto of the Nigerian police force?
Police is your friend.
Exactly.
Sorry. You should have just said, what's the biggest joke in Nigeria?
And the police
is
are
your
your
friend.
friend.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. All right, I think it's been
Some of them
amazing
are,
having
though.
you
Some of
guys.
them are.
Okay, so who won more? Who won more?
I think it's it has 1.5. Yeah, I have 1. So
have 2,
I got
bro.
police is
I
your
gave you
friend.
no any.
I got
link.
police is your friend. That's 3, bro.
I got Fela.
I got Fela. That's 4, my G.
Okay, you guys will decide.
What's that? No, they play with me. I know they will
want
start
your
this.
shit.
I must collect this score. Please, put this score on this
Okay.
Please.
We give it to Quincy Jones, but I think we need to play.
No, we're a team. We're a team. You're the one asking
Okay, I
the
give it
question.
to you guys.
We're a
I
team.
give
We
it
did
to
it
you
together.
guys. All right, I give it to you guys. You guys should share the cup. Take half, you take half. How will you guys?
If you know, say no, give us prize. Why you got to answer a question?
Anyways, yeah, I think we should play this more often. So that
Yes,
we can-
and I think I should ask you a question.
Yeah, if
Come
I...
on.
You,
Okay, ask me anything. I'm very good,
I
right?
don't even know.
All right, anyways, we got to go. Thank you guys for watching.
You're lucky.
What? Thank you guys for watching. Join the conversation on social media with the hashtag #TeaTime or tweet at us at +TV Africa. Remember, you can catch up on our previous episodes, including this one and all our exclusive content, by subscribing to our YouTube channel at +TV Africa. You can also watch Tea Time on Outer TV and in London on Ben Television. A big thank you goes out to my co-anchors, Ifelua Omai, and of course, Quincy Jones. And yes, the entire production team. Thank you for watching +TV Africa's Tea Time. My name is Ife Oshunkeye.
Recently, Lagos State was plunged into a wave of destruction by hoodlums after the End SARS protest, which affected various micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises. These wanton destruction threatened the livelihood of over 4,075 business owners across the state, who were greatly affected by the vandalization of their business infrastructure. These actions prompted the swift launch of the Lagos MSME Recovery Fund by the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSETF, to support the affected businesses and to stem the imminent job losses that would have happened as a result. You're welcome to Ladies Talking Business on +TV Africa. I'm Moremi Akonwo, your host. On today's episode, we will be discussing business resilience for MSMEs in Lagos. And discussing this with me is our guest, the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSETF, Teju Abisoye. She is a lawyer with extensive experience in development finance, project planning, execution, monitoring and evaluation of humanitarian projects, and many more. Thank you for joining us on the show today, Teju.
It's a pleasure to be here, Marimi.
Great. So let's just go right in. tell us about the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. So what was it established to do?
The Employment Trust Fund was set up in 2016 to address youth unemployment in Lagos State. We creatively or strategically addressed this by supporting small, medium enterprises. We provide skills for young people, and then we support the tech ecosystem to make sure there's access to infrastructure, talents, and investments when necessary. But for us, the critical thing at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund is to put people to work.
Okay, so because you said youth earlier on, so I was going to say, is it just for the young people, 18 to, I think youth nowadays are 18 to 45 or 40 or thereabout. Or is there no age restriction?
Well, it depends on who is defining it. Some have even defined it up to 20, up as low as 24, some to 35, some to 45.
Yeah.
So there are different categories of who is defining. But yes, we're not limited to youth, young people, but as long as it's the young people that are getting the jobs, that's what is very critical for us.
I agree, very true. Okay, so our topic is business resilience, building business resilience. What is business resilience?
Well, if you ask me, I'm not the, well, what I would say is that it's the ability of a business to actually recover in terms of economic downturns, in terms of whatever the situation in the country or the economy is. How resilient is your business to shocks or to whatever can happen in an economy? That's what we talk about. That's when we talk about business resilience.
Great, great. So these are trying times for both human beings and businesses. I'm sure you'd agree. So we've been dealing with the outbreak of COVID-19, which has affected people, affected businesses. That practically put the world on standstill. I never imagined that could ever happen in my life. Even Nigeria, it was so hard to see Nigeria put on hold. So due to these factors, there's also the current factor of increase in Forex. How can businesses in Nigeria, especially small businesses, small businesses, MSMEs, how can they build resilience to thrive in situations like this?
So I think that, first of all, is to look at the business one is doing and confirm, is there a market for it?
Okay.
Is there an opportunity to pivot into something else? And then are there areas you can partner with people such that you can reduce cost in your business? So if you sell accessories, is there somebody selling clothes that you can share the space to display your product? Can you share facilities or can you share resources? So do I need to employ my own independent accountant if I can share resources with another business, accountants, lawyers? But the idea is, how do I reduce costs so that the margins or the difference in terms of my revenues are not totally affected in such a way that my business needs to shut down? So because most likely it's for a period of time. The business, everything will come back, economy will get back on its feet, production we hope will gear up again very soon. So what do you do within that time frame where you want to manage your available resources to make sure that your business survives that challenging period?
Interesting. So you said something about, well, you didn't say directly about partnership. I think that's quite important this period, partnering with someone to reduce your costs and to basically thrive.
Yes, collaboration.
Collaboration. That was the word I was looking for, collaboration. Okay, so let's talk about the roles LSTTF plays, or rather is playing in helping MSMEs that were affected during the looting caused by hoodlums. It's a very, very sad situation, really. So how many businesses have applied for the fund so far?
So I think at the end by the 30th of November, we had received over 4,170 applications or thereabout. We found 100 and something numbers in duplicates, and we came to 4,075 total unique identified businesses. And then we went to do verifications for that. And then after the verification, we can confirm today that 1,900 plus had valid claims. People that had been looted, people had broken their infrastructure, they had destroyed inventory at those businesses. But from the 1,000 plus that today we classify them as no claims, some of them have not been available for that inspection or that verification, where people are saying, oh, I'm out of Lagos right now, I had to shut down. I don't know what. I really, some people just didn't know what to do. They felt a bit hopeless and just dumped everything and left. But so far, we've been able to validate over 1,900 claims.
Wow. So by validation, are those the people that have also been credited so far?
No. So we've credited over 1,100 as of today. So we're working with a lot of our partners, and we must say thank you to all our partners and our donors that have been part of this journey with us. We're working with them for the disbursement. So some of them have chosen to disburse directly to the partners, to the businesses.
To the businesses, okay.
Some of them are disbursing to LSCTF to do the disbursement. So we're working, all of us, everybody has their own processes to follow. Okay. So that's what it takes time for us a bit, but we're hoping to close and have disbursed to everybody by the first week in February.
Oh.
Yeah, we want to close it because we have other things to do.
Okay, so you said something about verification. What's the process of verification like? What do you have to do to know that, okay, this is a legit claim?
Okay, so basically what happened was people filed their claims on a form.
Okay.
And then an independent person, not LSCTF staff, goes to the business. They need to provide evidence. If they've cleaned up the destruction, they need to provide evidence of that destruction. In some cases, they needed to provide their bank statements showing proof of inventory or that the business was a going concern even before the vandalization. The kind of income they were making, the amount they spent on their last inventory, what they had recouped since that time before the vandalization. And those are kind of documentation that was used to determine valid claims. And it did help us get to identify some invalid.
Really sort the batch out. Yes. Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just continue with this right after the break. We will take a quick break now and be back with more talk with our guest right after the break.
Even if INEC opens their portal today for continuous registration, we'll rather complain than go to register.
If we go and know, are we going to change Africa? Because what did they do to make our lives better since then?
Because their stories will inspire you.
Inspire us to be like who? Like our Lord.
Inspire you to know that once upon a time, some people also struggled.
They don't even consider it that it's important
it's
to
not.
make the place conducive for people living with disability.
More accessible.
Because Nigeria has actually gone too far the other way to come back to look after the disabled.
Somebody rigs the election and then he's, fraudulently sworn in. He goes for Thanksgiving. The rest of us will join, Your Excellency.
Yeah.
But the day he's removed, we say he was corrupt.
Don't forget the political angle.
You mean brown envelope will stop?
No, brown envelope will, I don't want to say will not stop, but I've done hand like this, but quickly.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the results of tomorrow's election. You have it already.
I am not hungry. If I need appointment, all I need to do is to start praising government.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let anybody come and say. The moment we stop having charlatans occupy political offices, we will curtail hate speech.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
Thanks for staying with us. You are still watching Ladies Talking Business on Plus TV Africa. And our guest for today is the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSCTF, Teju Abisoye. Okay, so we're talking about you identifying legit applications, from that whole batch. So what is the time frame for recovery? So some people have applied since November. Did they start getting credited that November or December? So roughly how long does the process take?
If I recall, we started crediting people in November. So the process was
after you have been verified, it goes through a steering committee who then approves the disbursement of the grant to the business. The business then receives a grant offer that they must sign, put their account details, because we didn't have their account details. If you're not banked, you have to write unbanked, and then you have to open an account. Then once we go through that process, and then we go through an internal payment process, we disburse the funds to the beneficiaries. But some of the issues we've experienced with people giving us the wrong account numbers, the account number doesn't match the name of the business, it doesn't match the name of the promoter. And then you ask, oh, no, it was my husband's account. I say you should pay the money into. Sorry, we don't do that here.
People do things like that.
No, but it just tells you that information, people sometimes just don't know. People sometimes do play ignorant, though, because they're trying to be smart. But the truth is that sometimes people just don't know that this is a formal process. We're paying a grant. It has to go to a business. And, but we then have to go through those delays back and forth. But once we then disburse to you, we follow up to confirm where your business has started, what other challenges, do you need additional facilities? Then we refer you to our partner banks. If LSCTF cannot provide it, we refer you to our partner banks for additional facilities.
So it's good you mentioned the grants, because I was going to ask you, so are they loans or are they grants? But you've actually cleared that to say that they are grants. So are there any special sectors you consider before funding, or if you have a legit claim and you've passed the criteria, you get funded?
Anybody that had a valid claim will be funded. It has nothing to do with the sector. But of course, the number of jobs that we're protecting at this time is also very critical. The gravity of the damage is also important. So it wasn't a one-size-fits-all. It was individual claims were evaluated.
Okay. From, this event of looting that happened, you could just tell that a lot of businesses felt it deeply because they had no insurance. And insurance in this part of the world is something that we are still not used to. We don't understand how it works. Maybe only big businesses have insurance today, but how about the MSMEs? So is that something that the LSCTF is doing to now sensitize people, just in case, we don't pray for this to happen again, but is this something you're doing to sensitize people on the importance of insurance, especially for MSMEs?
And I think that's very important. And I think it's not just LSCTF to do it. I think it's going to be us and a lot of partner insurance companies. We must help people understand the advantages of having insurance. And insuring against specific incidences, and not including flood, because we're talking about Lagos here. From the recovery fund, only 90 out of the entire claims, the valid claims, only 3% had insurance, and they were not the micro businesses. They were more of people who had over 10 employees that had insurance. So that would tell you that it was the bigger businesses that had insurance. Insurance is not things people don't understand the importance of it's the premium they see. I don't understand.
Why would they ask me to pay? Nothing will happen. My shop is covered. Nothing will happen.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Yes, but the truth is, insurance is very critical. It's important for every business to insure, not just the life insurance against arson, against flood, security, different things.
Theft, all manner of things.
Everything. When you think about Nigeria, insurance is very critical.
I think a lot of organizations need to get in with that program. You need insurance, whether you're a small business, and I won't be surprised if there are insurance companies that have, packages for really, really small businesses.
Yes, so there are now quite a number, and I know that there's a particular one that offer micro insurance. And I mean by micro is a daily payment of your premium to the point where it's very convenient for you to pay your premium. And you're insured to a certain value for that, and but you pay your premium over much longer. You don't have to pay a bullet sum at the beginning of every year. You can pay it weekly, you can pay it monthly. And the idea is to make paying your premium easier, especially for the micro businesses.
It makes sense. It just makes a whole lot of sense. So we will now take a break, and we will be back with you after the break.
what we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect am.
If you no talk, then go beat you.
Now 2,500 I dey pay.
For upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Buki November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's Tea Time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
You are still watching Ladies Talking Business on Plus TV Africa. So far, we have been speaking with Teju Abisoye, the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSETF. Thanks for staying with us so far. Okay, so can you tell us about some of the loan facilities that your organization has for maybe businesses general, or do you have specific ones for women?
Oh, yes, we do. So
Okay.
thank you for that, Marimi. So at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, our flagship program is support to small, medium enterprises. And the idea is that micro, small, and medium enterprises. And the flagship program is access to affordable financing. So when we started, we offer loans at single digits with a maximum of 10%. And we have programs specific to sectors and to women entrepreneurship. In partnership with Access Bank, we have an LSCTFW initiative, which we are disbursing at 10% to women businesses, as long as they meet all the criteria.
Over a period of how long?
For a maximum of 36 months, they have access to up to 5 million. And that particular program is sector agnostic. That means you can be in any sector. You just have to be at least 50% owner of that business as a woman, or be the manager of the business. That program is one of our very core programs at LSCTF. We have another program for schools, proprietors for schools, and vocational training centers. That's in partnership with First Bank, and we're disbursing that at 9% for all schools affected, especially post-COVID lockdown. We wanted them to have access to affordable finance. And the interesting thing, and the same program for schools we have with Edfin Microfinance Bank. But what is critical for us is that not just do we provide that access to affordable financing, but we provide capacity development, advisory services, legal, HR, accounting. We want to help businesses increase productivity. It's very critical to us. That is not just that we've left you with the funding. Money. If we can provide markets, we have those discussions as well, access to markets, because so one of the things we're working with the Lagos State government now is where small businesses can be part of vendors in Lagos State, so that they're giving, they can not necessarily lower the standards for businesses to be able to provide services to the government, but to reduce the parameters around things around the annual turnover, the number of years you need to be in existence, or
before you can offer some
before you can offer the services. That's very critical to us. So we do provide different loan programs for different categories in business. If you're in tourism, if you're in hospitality, we have another program that is available.
Entertainment?
Yes, and entertainment. No, so it's part of tourism.
Oh,
it's actually part of the Tourism, Arts and Culture Fund, where you can access that through the LSCTF. Yeah, we support the creative sector as well. So what I advise people is please look online at our website. You will see the different programs. And it's at lsctf.ng to ask about the products that are available and what any business can access at this time in Lagos State.
You heard that, people. So don't forget to go on their website to find out more information about the programs you just talked about. So let's talk about the key achievements of the LSCTF to date since 2016. So what are the key things that you're proud of when you think of you're like, okay, I'm proud of these things which we've achieved?
Oh, yes, for us at LSCTF, I think for us, what success looks like is really where LSCTF has been able to intervene or provide an intervention to a business, and the business has been able to increase productivity by employing more people, raising additional financing with that equity, But the idea for us is that whoever we've supported has been able to increase their productivity. As of today, we've been able to support almost 15,000 businesses with different categories of intervention, ranging from loans, promotion, training, capacity development, different types of intervention. And then, of course, the grants that we did more recently. Okay. With training, we've been able to train over 5,000 young people.
On vocational
As of over 8,000 people with vocational skills. Some, not just vocational, soft skills in some cases. We had a partnership with Coursera where people, over 1,500 have completed their Coursera.
Are they free? Are the trainings free?
For now. Okay. So there was, it ended on the 31st of December. Okay. But you didn't have to pay to sign on to Coursera and start taking their courses. A lot of people have finished their courses. Over 1,000 people finished courses in training. And then we've done over 5,000 in vocational skills. And we've been able to place over 60% of that in jobs, with some of them even starting their own business. In the technology space, we've been able to support over 120 business with access to vouchers, infrastructure, where we give them workspace vouchers. We've been able to help.
You don't see these things out there. So is there a platform that just shows the
we
things that
we need to do more with?
Yeah.
We need to do
People
more with
need to know
respect.
that these services are even available, and they need to know more of what you've done.
We do. We need
they
to
are commendable
do more.
things.
Thank
Well done,
you very much.
LSCTF.
We've supported over 20 new ideas, and we have 60 in the pipelines that we want to actually take live this year, 2021. Where we've actually helped them with mentoring program. They've met mentors. They've been able to take their business to the next level. So yes, we are doing a lot of work.
I mean, it leads to my next question, because I was going to ask what is underway for MSMEs in 2021. So what should they look out for?
So we have a lot of plans for 2021. Part of the strategic things we're thinking of in 2021 is also the support we can provide to micro businesses in business parks, where they can have access to all their tools, access to space, working in such a way that is easier for anybody that has a skill to start work. And as part of the business pack would also be training. So where you don't have the skill, you can actually learn it in the business park and know that the facility or the what you require to start earning is already part of that pack. Okay. So that's part of our programs. We're going to increase our numbers in terms of talent development, especially in the technology space. And of course, our loan programs, we have over 5 billion to disburse for this year. We hope people do take advantage of that.
People, they have over 5 billion to disburse. So please do take advantage and just visit the website, call the customer care numbers if you need clarification on anything. And I would like to say congratulations on your induction into the Amujai. Is it Amujai? Did I pronounce it?
Amujai.
Amujai Leadership Network. Okay, so tell us more about the network and what's it going to do for you personally and to your career? Because I think there are about 11 or 15 women that get that opportunity from Africa.
So there are 15 women from 11 countries. There are 3 Nigerians.
And you're one of them.
But we can, and you can imagine with our size, so it's expected. But the idea of the Amujai Leadership Initiative, or the network of the Erling Sirleaf Johnson Center, is to actually help women be their best in public office. How do you use a network of women in the same space to share experience, learn from people who have been in public office and are still in public office. So people with more experience than us that we can learn from. And if you read the bios of a lot of them, some of them are former governors, ministers, that I am going to get the opportunity to be learning from. It means a lot for me as a woman in leadership. Because what we women need more than ever is a support network, a support system that can help us thrive in our position of leadership, where we can learn how to handle situations, where, you know, sometimes as a woman leader, you're talking, but they're not hearing you. Just because you're a woman, not because you're not saying what they want to hear. But how do you handle those situations? Those are the kind of things we get to learn. And of course, I'm hoping to inspire a lot more women to go into public office, to get involved.
I'm beginning to feel inspired.
To get involved in the public space. Okay. And because it's critical that we're ahead, that we're part of, because we're more than 50% of the population, or at least 50%. We need to be active. We need to be involved. We need to be part of the informed decisions. Don't let us leave our lives in the hands of people that don't understand what we go through. That's part of it for me, and that's why it's so critical. It's very critical that we, you know, so it's very important for me that it's a support network that really helps.
So how long is it for?
So you're part of you're part of that network for life.
For life. Oh.
Yeah, we want. Obviously, we're hoping that the cohort will get to know each other more, and of course, because of that, ends up being a lifelong relationship. It doesn't end with that this year when they announce the next batch. Does that mean we're done? But we hope that we actually bond and we become friendship, or the kind of thing that you use for the rest of your life.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Teju, for joining us on this episode of Ladies Talking Business. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And we also wish you all the best at LSTTF.
Thank you.
So this is how far we can go on this episode of Ladies Talking Business with Teju Abisoye on Plus TV Africa. I hope to see you next week for another episode. I am Moremi Akon. Goodbye.
First point of accountability is asking questions.
Hello and welcome to Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
Hi everyone, welcome to Plus Training.
You cannot continue to recycle poverty while you're spending a lot of money on unproductive ventures.
The government has to feel the impact.
Honorable Commissioner, sir, welcome to the show.
Thanks for joining us on Plus News Brief. I am Osaogie Ogbonwa. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has approved the use of Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine in Nigeria. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, made the announcement during a live briefing on Thursday. She said that the vaccine can be stored at 2 to 8 degrees centigrade. According to the DG, there are 3 additional vaccines undergoing evaluation, but evaluation on AstraZeneca shows that the vaccine is effective against the UK variant of the virus, which has been reported in Nigeria. Professor Adeyeye disclosed that the South African variant has not been reported here in Nigeria, adding that the agency has over 30 herbal medicines undergoing review for listing. The Niger State Governor, Sani Bello, has ordered the immediate closure of all boarding schools in 4 local council areas in the state after students and teachers were kidnapped from Government Science College, GSC, in Kagara Bello said boarding schools in Rafi, Munya, Shiro, and Mariga local government areas will be closed indefinitely because of heightened insecurity. Gunmen dressed in military uniforms stormed the Government Science College before hauling students into a nearby forest. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has met behind closed doors with Governor Abubakar Bello of Niger State at the State House, Abuja. The governor was in the State House to update the president on the security situation in his state, where some staff and students of Government Science Secondary School, Kagara, Rafi Council area of the state, were abducted by gunmen on Wednesday morning. The president had earlier in the statement by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, condemned the abduction and dispatched a team of top security officials to the state to coordinate the rescue operation in the state. Buhari also expressed sadness over the killing of one of the students by the kidnappers, vowing not to relent until normalcy is restored in the security situation in the country. Nigeria's Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Magashi, retired, has rallied Nigerians to defend themselves against bandits who have turned kidnapping into a thriving business. Magashi speaking against the backdrop of the abduction of 42 people, including pupils from the Government Science College, Kagara, Niger State, early on Wednesday, told reporters in Abuja that the bandits were having a field day because they knew people in communities they attack would not fight back. Magashi, while fielding questions from reporters in Abuja, urged Nigerians to defend themselves against bandits and stop being cowardly. According to him, tackling the increasing security in the country is the responsibility of all.
Is it the responsibility of the military alone? It's the responsibility of everybody to keep alert and find safety when necessary. But we shouldn't be cowards. At times, the banditry will only come with about 3 rounds of ammunition. When they fire shot, everybody runs. In our younger days, we stand to fight any aggression coming to us. I don't know why people are running away from minor, things like that. They should stand and let these people know that even the villagers, they have the competence and capability to defend themselves. But our own duty is to ensure no Nigerian is hurt, and we're capable of protecting the integrity of this nation. And we will continue to do it.
Still in the north, the Niger State government has released the names of the students, teachers, and other residents abducted from Government Science Secondary School, Kagara. A list which emanated from the State Ministry of Education shows 27 students were abducted alongside 5 staff and 9 members of their families, making a total of 41 persons abducted from the school. 3 of the staff abducted are teachers, while 2 are non-teaching staff. The names of the students are Jamilu Issa, Shem Joshua, Abbas Abdullahi, Issa Abdullahi, Ezekiel Danladi, Haliru Shoaibu, Mahmoud Suleiman, Danzaka Dauda, Abdusalmad Sanusi, Bashir Abbas. These and others, of course, on your screen. And the Nigerian Senate has condemned the abduction of several students and teachers from the government science school Kagara in Niger State. While expressing their displeasure at the incident, the senators called on security agencies to live up to their responsibilities. They also urged President Muhammadu Buhari to quickly declare a state of emergency on insecurity in the country, saying the incident of kidnapping of students is gradually becoming rampant, especially in the northern parts of the country.
An abduction of school children at Government Science School Kagara, Niger State, is coming on the heels of yet to be resolved Kankara abduction of 300 students which took place at Government Science School Kankara, Katsina State, Chibok girls in 2014, and abduction of about 100 schoolgirls at Government Girls Science and Technical School Dapchi, Yobe State in 2018. And concerned that, like the other incidents of school children abduction that took place in Chibok and Dapchi several years back, if no immediate action is taken to rescue Kagara school students, their fate may be sealed in the hands of terrorists.
Can we rightly say that this government, I am sorry to say, that this government is incompetent in handling the security challenges in this country? Because this issue had been discussed here over and over, and there is no improvement. It is even getting worse. Are we supposed to amend the laws in this country to give every citizen freedom to carry arms? What else are we going to do? Are we going to amend the Nigerian Constitution to give more powers to the governors who are the chief security officers of their various states? Because our government at the center is showing incompetence in handling security challenges. Let each one of us here imagine that it is his son or his daughter that has been kidnapped.
Niger State is next to the FCT. If we believe we are comfortable in the FCT, we should begin to understand if they are in Niger State, they are as well in the FCT. And the forest, which these people use as their hideout, is like a kind of stretch of areas. There is a continuum of forest from the FCT into Niger State, through Shiroro local government, into Rafi local government, and into Mariga local government to Zamfara. These things are known, and I think it is time for our security agents to double their efforts so that our citizens can at least have some peace.
I believe that there is need for something new, a different initiative, on especially how to protect our schools. And let me be a little bit clear about the incidents of abducting students from schools. Almost all the incidents of abducting students from schools happen in northern Nigeria. And we all know how much effort our leaders of yesterday, probably right from independence, have worked so hard to ensure that children go to school in northern part of Nigeria. And with incidents like this, we will be reversing all the gains that were made in convincing parents and wards to take their children to school. So there is need for our security agencies and government to ensure that we come up with a strategy of ensuring security in schools.
Still talking insecurity, the Nigerian Army says its troops of Operation Tura Takebango have eliminated more Boko Haram terrorists at their meeting point in Bayumari town in Yobe. The Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Mohammed Yerima, said the troops operating in Operation Lafia Dole had continued to degrade the terrorists in the northeast. Yerima said the troops of 159 and 233 battalions, in conjunction with Civilian Joint Task Force, had on Tuesday engaged the terrorists following credible information on the movement of the terrorists to Bayomari. He said that the troops engaged the terrorists with fierce volume of fire and neutralized 2 of them in the process, while some escaped with gunshot wounds. At least 3 persons lost their lives and 3,600 others displaced in a fire incident at an internally displaced persons camp in the customs area of Maiduguri. The Director General of the State Emergency Management Agency, Yabawa Kolo, said that the incident, which occurred on Tuesday, also affected food items. She explained that the first incident occurred very early in the morning, while the second incident occurred in the afternoon at about 2 p.m., raising down about 600 shelters. She said this might have stemmed from a cooking fire that grew out of control in one of the tents. She expressed concern over what she described as reoccurring fire incidents in camps, which had affected many families. And also in the news, the acting Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Hilary Kelechi Madu, has called on members of the Corps' strategic management team to redouble efforts towards finding a lasting solution to the nation's security challenges. The NSCDC boss made the call during an inaugural meeting with the Corps' zonal commanders and state commandants on the state of security in the nation. He reminded the senior officers that the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps was one of the organizations tasked by the president to find a lasting solution to banditry, insurgency, and other crimes plaguing the country.
The government is looking up to us to deliver on both our core and expanded mandates. The insecurity in the country has been heightened with persistent farmers-herders clashes, kidnapping, insurgency, and banditry. It is therefore our responsibility to rejig our operational capacity and capability to drive this policy's thrust of government. I call on you to do away with corruption and ineptitude and embrace dedication to duties for us to bring back the lost glory of the Corps.
And now in Edo State, the police command has decorated newly promoted officers, tasking them to promote the image of the police through good, professional, and orderly conduct. The Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of Zone 5, Benin City, who was represented by the Head of Finance and Administration, Emmanuel Effiong, urged the newly promoted personnel to add their quota to the war against criminality in the state.
What output you are expected to evidence is also different from what you are used to in your former bank. These are the indices that will show us that you are ready, well prepared, sufficiently prepared, and equipped for the new role that we take and meet. So we expect much more from you in terms of punctuality to work, diligence at work, and overall professional efficiency from you.
I'm very happy I'm decorated today to the rank of superintendent. I thank my IG and also the AIG and all the senior officers, the management team in Zone 5. I'm so happy today. Today is my happiest day.
God has elevated me to the rank of Assistant Superintendent of Police. I give grace, I give glory to Almighty Father. The best I will deliver to the public. This is the best time in my life. It's a unique day. And I want to give the best to the society while dealing with them in my course of my duty.
You're still watching the News Brief on Plus TV Africa. The news continues shortly after this break.
for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Buki November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's Tea Time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Welcome back to News Brief on Plus TV Africa. In stories in other parts of Africa, Senegal has received its first delivery of COVID-19 vaccines, which it purchased from China's Sinopharm. Like other African countries that have struggled to procure vaccines, Senegal turned to China as it awaits disbursements through African Union and World Health Organization-backed programs. The 200,000 doses, enough to vaccinate 100,000 people, arrived on a chartered Air Senegal flight from Beijing to Dakar, where they were received by President Macky Sall and the Chinese ambassador to Senegal. As a lower middle-income country, Senegal is eligible for around 1.3 million doses for free in the first wave of disbursement from the WHO's COVAX program. But shipments are not expected to start until late February, and most will arrive in March. And Africa's total reported death toll from COVID-19 was approaching 100,000, a fraction of those reported on other continents, but rising fast as a second wave of infections overwhelms hospitals. The continent's reported deaths at 99,800 compare favorably with North America, which has registered more than 500,000, and Europe, which is approaching 900,000. But deaths are rising sharply across Africa, driven by its southern region, especially economic powerhouse South Africa, which accounts for nearly half. South Africa was ravaged by a second wave caused by a more contagious variant that has jammed up casualty figures.
So it was bad. It was very bad.
People were dying, eh?
People were dying. I don't know how many people I declared before I entered in office during the COVID time. I'm very happy and very excited. I was looking forward even from the previous one that was put on hold.
It gives us another layer of protection in the fight against this disease, and I'd encourage everyone to please take the vaccine. This vaccine gives us hope.
The good news is that we know that this vaccine works here. So we don't need to show efficacy. That's the important thing, the effectiveness we've got.
And thousands gathered in the Libyan capital of Tripoli to mark 10 years since the uprising that ousted the country's former president, Muammar Gaddafi. Since then, Libya has been plagued by escalating violence, political divisions, and economic instability. A decade on, Libya is still split between rival factions, and shell and shrapnel holes scar its cities. The UN-sponsored talks produced a new interim government for Libya aimed at resolving a decade of chaos, division, and violence by holding national elections later this year. Now to stories outside Africa. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says it has struck a deal for an extra 150 million doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine this year, nearly doubling the number of shots secured from the U.S. biotech firm for 2021. Under the deal, the European Union also has the option to buy another 150 million doses next year. The EU has already booked 160 million doses of the Moderna shot for this year. Deliveries began in January with a target to supply 10 million doses by the end of March, although there have been some delays. The Commission said with this new agreement, the EU has secured up to 2.6 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines from 6 vaccine makers. That compares with an EU population of around 450 million, although not all vaccines may pass clinical tests.
The Commission has approved a second contract with Moderna to purchase 300 million additional doses of their vaccine against COVID-19. This is good news, and we see a growing number of fraud and fraud attempt related to the vaccines. We're fighting this trend. Olaf is investigating and giving member states advice how to identify this fraud. Our goal is to bring them to justice and to really go in depth in these matters.
The capacity to produce the right number of doses is drastically increasing, and for what it was before I came, and now for the new batches, it's an improvement of roughly 50%. So that's why we are more secure on the fact that AstraZeneca is catching up.
Now in business, latest figures from the Central Bank of Nigeria revealed on Wednesday that the country's external reserves dipped by $565 million from $36.198 billion as of February 1st to $35.633 billion as of February 15th. The reserves, which had gained in recent weeks, started a downward trend on January 26th, on which date it declined to $36.34 billion. Figures obtained from the CBN showed that the reserves, which commenced the year at $35.65 billion, rose to $36.52 billion as of January 25th. However, the latest monthly economic report of the CBN stated that despite the increase in economic activities globally and positive news of a COVID-19 vaccine, the external reserves declined due to lower foreign exchange receipts and sustained intervention to stabilize the exchange rate. On entertainment news, the company behind South Korean boy band BTS has announced a project to find the next K-pop sensation through a global audition program that is expected to air in the United States in 2022. Big Hit Entertainment said it was teaming with Universal Music Group to find, develop, and train the new K-pop boy band. Lenzo Yoon, Big Hit's global chief executive, said the new project would apply Big Hit's success formula established over the past 16 years to the U.S., the center of the global music market. The new K-pop group will record on a new Los Angeles-based record label within the Universal Music Group.
To share the news of an exciting new collaborative partnership between Universal Music Group and Big Hit Entertainment. Today's announcement has three key elements: a collaboration in which we will utilize Big Hit's newly creative platforms and technology to enhance our artists' connections with their fans around the world. And third, an enhanced fan and artist experience.
And now for some sports news. Jennifer Brady ensured there would be an American in the Australian Open final after Serena Williams' exit by downing Karolina Muchova 6-4, 3-6, 6-4 in the semifinals in Melbourne. On a stifling afternoon at the Rod Laver Arena, former college player Brady dug herself out of a mid-match hole to reach her first Grand Slam decider and a daunting title clash with Naomi Osaka, the woman who knocked her out of the U.S. Open semis. The 2019 champion Osaka earlier eliminated Williams in straight sets, but 22nd seed Brady ensured the United States would have another finalist a year after Sofia Kenin upsets Garbine Muguruza for the 2020 trophy.
I can't feel my legs. My legs are shaking. My heart is racing. I came out a little, I don't know, I was feeling a little strange today. I was super excited, but at the same time, I was pretty flat-footed. My legs felt fresh, but at the same time, they just weren't moving. I felt like I was stuck in mud. So I didn't really pick up, my intensity until the beginning of the third set.
Also, Japan's three-time Grand Slam winner Naomi Osaka said that the resignation of former Prime Minister Yoshiro Mori as the head of the Tokyo 2020 organizing committee was really good after calling his comments about women ignorant. Mori, 83 years of age, stepped down as chairman of the Olympic Organizing Committee last week after saying women talked too much, a fresh blow to the Games, already marred by an unprecedented delay of a year due to the coronavirus pandemic and strong public opposition.
I feel like it's really good because you're pushing forward, or like barriers are being broken down, especially for females. I think we've had to fight for so many things just to be equal, and even in a lot of things we still aren't equal. So yeah, I thought that was a good thing.
And that's the news at this hour. For more news updates, please follow us at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa. We'll be back later with more stories. I am Osaogie Ogbonwa. Thank you for watching.
Even if INEC opens their portal today for continuous registration, we would rather complain than go to register.
If we go and know, are we going to change Africa? Because what did they do to make our lives better since
will
then?
Inspire you.
Inspire us to be like who? Like Awolowo.
Inspire you to know that once upon a time, some people also struggled.
They don't even consider it that it's important to make the place conducive for people living with disabilities.
More accessible.
Because Nigeria has actually gone too far the other way to come back to look after the disabled.
Somebody rigs the election and then he's, fraudulently sworn in. He goes for Thanksgiving. The rest of us will join, Your Excellency.
Yeah.
But the day he's removed, we say he was corrupt.
Don't forget the political angle.
You mean brown envelope will stop?
No, brown envelope will, I don't want to say will not stop, but I've done hand like this, Sha. But quickly.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the results of tomorrow's election. Okay, you have it already, Abi.
I am not hungry. If I need appointment, all I need to do is to start praising government.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let anybody come and say. The moment we stop having charlatans occupy political offices, we will curtail hate speech.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in news as it affects us all. I am Osayuame Saleh, and today I'm alone in the studio. I think I'm getting used to this. But I have Temi Popola and Temi Obasanya. The two Temis joining me via Zoom. Hi, ladies.
Hi, ladies. Hi, Uwa.
Hi,
I was
Temi.
saying before we went live that, your beauty is radiating, and having anybody beside you, you're just going to blow up the cameras. So, it's fine.
So I am your bully. Roast me. Is that not how you would say it? How are you doing, Temi?
Temi O or Temi P?
No, Temi O, sorry. Today I have to be doing Temi O, Temi P. Okay, how are you doing, Temi O?
Yes.
Okay, like I'm fine. So I'm excited. I'm still basking in the euphoria of our neighborhood auntie, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a very exciting few days, and just wanted to send my congratulations to her. Another glass ceiling shattered, and thank you, ma'am, for giving the rest of us the guts to even dare.
Absolutely. You know, tell me, remember the interesting thing when we were going back and forth? I'm sure we had congratulated her in our group more than 20 times.
I know.
They kept upturning and upturning.
So
at some point, we got tired of congratulating her. We just kept quiet. So now it's finally here. Yeah.
Absolutely.
How are you, Temi?
So are
Temi
you
P.
joining like Ngozi challenge? I've been seeing that all over social media where people tie their scarves, like her, and they dress like her, and then hashtag be like Ngozi. Are you joining it?
Well, not yet. I like it. I like that. And beyond just wanting to be like Ngozi, I hope this is also a lesson for parents out there that you need to train up the girl child. You need to empower her to achieve her potential, because Ngozi's parents sent her to the best schools. They gave her all the support and everything that she needed. So beyond wanting to be like Ngozi, I want to be like her. And I'm also hoping that, our parents and even the rest of us can do that for our own girl, our children, period, men and women.
Absolutely.
Let's push the African narrative.
Absolutely.
We're fantastic people.
Absolutely. So Temi P, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. You know what happened? Somebody was telling me yesterday that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is dual citizen. She has American and Nigerian. Why do you have to bust my bubble? So it's also a win for them in the US.
But Nigerian first. And the way she carries herself. She wears the African attire that she speaks, the culture that she's
At
happy
this point,
to.
she cannot
She's
claim
Nigerian.
America.
She's our neighborhood auntie. She's our auntie, period.
I told the person, I said, why did you have to just bring that one? You have to just bust my bubble, Abi. All right, so today we have an interesting conversation. In fact, it's actually linked to this new, what is it called? This new role that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is around trade now. People who are suffering because of Forex and all of that. CBN, of course, last week, CBN banned or started closing people's accounts. So here's what we found. We want to talk about that today. And here's what we found as today's quote. Liberty may be endangered by the abuse of liberty, but also by the abuse of power. So for me, I'm just looking at it, honestly speaking, shutting down people's account because they traded in cryptocurrency might just be an abuse of power. All right, so last week, Uti Elu took a story published by Tech Cabal in our What's in the News segment, which the headline read, Access Bank GT begins closing customers' accounts that have traded cryptocurrency. What does this imply, and is it even legal? Joaquin Makibong is here to explain this to us. But first, we'll take a break first for What's in the News. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
We can't talk about education reform if we don't decolonize our education system.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize. Because it's just cultural. And I think it's just human nature.
They stop paying us salary. I don't like remembering it.
I am angry at Nigeria. I'm angry at this government which seems to be letting us down. I'm angry at us as a people.
In the process of struggling to free myself from his hand, he tore my pants and he raped me.
Yes, I commit offense truly.
Young girl, do you know where you are going? I say, I'm going to America. I say, now so that they talk, you are going to Libya. Which America?
As it then do mark our place, some people they die now.
This is Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
Thanks for staying with us. So Today is an international day for, what's it called? Showing random acts of kindness. And I don't know if somebody showed any random act of kindness today. Temi P, did you show any random act of kindness today?
Not yet. The day is still young. It's just past 8. We still have time.
But I think this is a very good day to mark, because a lot of times people just really need that unexpected kindness. You know, I wish I had money today. I would have done some small kindness, but because Nigerian language is only money. Because when I was reading up this day, some people say, oh, just send a hug, you know, send a message, send a this. But Nigeria, we like money too much. Random act of kindness would just be the person receiving credit alert. Like, I know I would appreciate that right now.
Just put a smile.
Yeah, just put a smile on somebody's face, and it's not too late.
Like complimenting a woman.
I think you actually did. You know, when you were complimenting Uwa, that was a random act of kindness.
Well, that's true. Yes. Because compliment is part of it.
And it's so great that it's in nature, so it's just easy to live like that.
Yeah, compliment is also is an act of random kindness. Yeah. All right, so let me start with, who am I going to start with? I like Temi's story, it's very interesting. Let me start with your story, Temi O.
Which of the Temi?
Temi O.
Okay, so my story. So the Senate moves to regulate the distribution and marketing of bleaching cream in Nigeria. So I saw the story at a plenary session yesterday, a resolution to ensure the regulation of the formulation and distribution of cosmetics, especially bleaching cream, was passed by the Nigerian senators. And honestly, I have nothing against bleaching cream for anybody who decides to use it, or for people who want to make a business out of buying and selling it, you know. But I saw the story and it was just the energy for me. I'm like, members of parliament in Nigeria will sit down to regulate this kind of thing. Yet, speaking to our topic today, something as serious and impactful as cryptocurrency is just an outright ban. And I don't see them maintaining that same energy. Yes, I understand that the central bank, the Apex Bank, is supposed to be an independent institution and all of that, but the Senate should sit down, lend their voice, use their muscle and their influence to say, okay, this is what we think, and just have these conversations that are impactful. We have a lot of problems in Nigeria. And for me to now understand that Lagos being the commercial capital of Nigeria, it was our own senator that decided to put this forward. You know, I saw the story and the energy was just all wrong.
No, but there's a health implication of bleaching cream. You know, in some parts of the country, world rather, they have banned certain use of some chemicals. You know, me, I deal with skincare. It's our market. So, and in all honesty, Temi, when you go on social media, right, it is crazy. People are mixing all sorts of concoction in the name of getting lighter. But then again, I'm wondering, who are the marketers, who are the customers of these girls that are bleaching their skin?
Oh, well, okay. I have no answer. I plead the fifth.
But it is a massive industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And it's not just restricted to Nigeria when it comes to bleaching. I mean, Asians, they are known for bleaching, you know. They specialize in bringing new formulas for bleaching.
Yeah. It's a thing, and we should regulate it, but I just like to see things in the news that just depict seriousness.
Priority.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Temi P, do you want to add to that?
No, I think I like how Temi was able to balance it, saying that, I mean, she's not against regulating this because it's actually an important conversation also. We need to look at the cosmetic industry, you know, and it's important that NAFDAC should ensure that, you know, they go through all the processes before they allow products because they affect Nigerians. But I like how that she's saying that the focus should be on the priorities now. There's so much priorities, and we want to see our government, we want to see our leaders, you know, prioritizing the things that are important, like security, things like that. So I like the balance there.
Absolutely. Let's hear what you found for us in the news.
Okay, so a U.S. court sentences Invictus to 10 years in prison for $11 million fraud. I think it was 2019 when the story was all over the news at that point, where this person who had, perpetrated international fraud, they called him an international fraudster. He had, defrauded a lot of companies and done all of those things. And he was finally in the news. He was caught. And then we now hear the news that finally the U.S. judiciary has finally sentenced him to 10 years imprisonment. And when I saw this news, my thought was that I think it's good that he's being brought to the books. I think that it's nice that justice is being served. I think this would be a deterrent, really. It's actually good news to know that he was being sentenced. And I like that this news, looking at it, usually there's the narrative of Nigerians being in the news for things like fraud or things like that. That's sad, but I'm happy that this is coming out. And another important news is also out there that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is leading WTO. So that just speaks that there are different people with different character and they don't necessarily represent a country. So it's not Nigerians are bad, they're bad people. And they're also good people.
Absolutely.
So,
and I think also, we were chatting in the group about this 30 under 30, 20 under 20, 40 under 40, that kind of pressure. Because this young man rather, was enlisted under the Forbes 30 under 30 CEOs and all of that. And I keep saying to people that, if you know the real struggle a lot of successful people go through, some of these things just makes a nonsense of hard work. It doesn't just happen like this. It doesn't happen like that. So most times when you see things like this, try to take time to check out the background story of how these people rose to the top. Because even someone was telling me on good authority that some people actually pay, to be featured in some of these magazines that put you under pressure, So just do you. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. And fraud is never the answer.
Absolutely.
We cannot say this enough. Fraud is never the answer,
All right, so my stories are actually rather on a sad note, and I hope that they are able to rescue some of these young people that have been abducted. Early hours of this morning, some young people were abducted at the government science college in Kagara, I think Niger State. That's the state. So I just want to bring to our notice what the governor has said about ransom. He says it's not in our policy. It's not our policy as a government to pay bandits, as we have seen and noted that they use the same ransom to purchase arms and ammunition. That's from Governor Abubakar Sani Bello on the abduction of the students of the government science college in Kagara in Niger State. So I am excited about what he said. In all honesty, I'm waiting to hear what strategy that will be used to rescue these people that have been abducted, these children that have been abducted, because I hear even some of their teachers also were abducted alongside with them. So I'm hoping to hear what strategy they will use, because when you keep on paying ransom, I mean, what's it called, the Kankara boys, when you keep on paying ransom, what you're doing, you're further enriching these people. So they will keep on abducting people so that they will get more money to be able to acquire ammunitions to continue to fuel their banditry. So I don't know how we're going to do it, but honestly speaking, we need to stop it. If ransom is the only way out, I don't know how we're going to find a lasting solution to some of these challenges, because it will just keep going.
Yeah, you're incentivizing them, and you are also encouraging other smaller groups like them to crop up. But what's really disheartening to me is that it's almost becoming everyday news. These are children, and we hear these things, and we just move on to the next thing like nothing has happened. And it's really sad.
It's heartbreaking.
State of emergency. We just need to do something.
Yeah, it has to stop. It has to stop. All right, so that's all we can take for what's in the news. When we return from the break, we'll be discussing cryptocurrency and CBN closing customers' accounts. Stay with us. We'll be right back.